late in the
Let's
bed and good.
hear it.
Robert, get your.
Uh,
We're live. We're live, people.
I was just trying to say, my friend from Colombia, he learned English by listening to rap songs. It was all the worst, all the worst
Yeah.
stuff you could say. That's what he would say. Is hilarious.
Huh? That's funny.
He learned
Robert, you sound like
English
you're on a bad mic and
listening
your
to rap
video's
songs.
not working.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
What
have
in the
my
world?
He's on the
Imagine
wrong mic
webcam.
and
No, that's the
Imaging
actual
edge
camera, the
webcam.
camera one.
You haven't.
remember he went on the webcam version. Did you hear me say
That's
you're on
right.
the wrong mic?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't, for some reason, I'm definitely on the wrong mic. It doesn't even show anything.
Get out of the closet, Robert.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
It worked. Good thing it worked during the. Fine. He was the only one that could do have his video on
Multi-stream.
both things. Terrell, we try with Terrell.
Multi-stream.
So you think? What do you think? You think we missed the view? You think we missed the train for the 50+ live viewers tonight, or you think people will show up?
What happened, bro? I thought for sure. I hope so.
I thought, like, honestly, there was so much like information and misinformation after the direct. I was like, we can't do it. I got to watch this treehouse. I thought they were gonna give us clear
Yeah, it
some
was too much
stuff up.
stuff to.
And
I had to edit my video so they could get 10 views and shit, man. Like I had to be like, look.
wait till Robert gets situated here.
Yeah.
Wrong.
The sad thing is,
Definitely
I
the
thought
wrong
this was
mic.
Yeah, let me change that.
Yeah, man, you got that
You
Finding
also gotta
Nemo
rub that
fishbowl.
Vaseline off
Yeah.
your webcam, man.
He's got Switch 1 visuals.
All right,
going on
all
there.
right.
No, like I can't see what you guys see in terms of the camera because it looks perfectly fine on my screen, but I guess for you guys, you see
T looks crystal clear. Retro looks pretty clear. And yours, it's
see
gotten
everyone
better. It
clear.
got better now than when you first turned it
Okay,
on.
because I see literally everyone clear. That's why.
Yeah, it was looking a little ashy, just a little bit.
So
Like it needed a little lotion, a little bit, but it's good.
I just gotta say that watching that direct with you two and Terrell, that was the most fun I've ever had watching a direct. Like if I try to record myself, I'm never I'm never like super excited. It's just different hearing Retro laugh, his little giddy laugh when DK was making his faces during that reveal. It's just like that was just like the greatest.
I gotta finish it. I haven't finished it. I'm like halfway through it.
That was just.
Yeah, I was very excited.
It made it so much better for me personally.
Well, it was funny also hearing Terrell like ahead of time.
Yeah, he was good about it though. He would just go, "Oh
he
no!" He wouldn't say us what it is, and he's like, "Oh."
Even though he was screaming, he was a big sport about it, man. Like he didn't say stuff. But at one point, I muted him halfway through. I'm like, I don't want to know that I have to be.
You muted him halfway through?
Oh yeah, I muted him halfway through. I couldn't.
God damn.
He was about 6 seconds ahead, I think, maybe
He
more.
was like a lot ahead about us because he was so far ahead.
Probably a good,
like he went like, "Whoa!"
20.
And we were like, "Is it this?" He's like, "No." "Is it this?" "No." "Is it this?" "No."
He's like,
now
Juice
it's
would be
coming." I'm
excited.
like,
But yeah, it was fun. And I just thought before we get into all the bullshit, all the information that came out since, we should just start by just grading the actual presentation, like for its entertainment value or its pacing, the games they showed, the reveals, that stuff. But I do want to just say R.I.P. to Val Kilmer on Wednesday. It was drowned out by Switch 2, by Terrace, by a bunch of other news, and I completely missed it. So I know he'd been struggling with throat cancer and stuff for years and health issues, but yeah,
the weirdest thing happened the day before. I got a random ass video of him and God, what's his name? Willow.
Warwick
Davis.
Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis. Him and Warwick Davis like hawking the Blu-ray from 11 years ago.
Really?
And I'm like, this is so fucking random. And like the next day, gone.
Really?
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what is going on?
I can't sit here and say like he's like been in all these movies that I love, but he's in Willow is one of my favorite fantasy movies, of all time. Mad Mardigan, loved his character. He's been more supporting characters in most of the movies I've seen, but it's just like
he was Batman. People forget that.
Yeah. Tombstone was probably one of his most famous, I guess, roles. Even though that was also a ensemble cast, it wasn't just But yeah,
Heat.
Heat, great movie. I forgot I bought that movie last year, I think.
Fantastic.
Forgot it was 3
The
hours long.
Doors. Dude,
Obviously
I even
Top
like
Gun.
The Saint. I'm like one of the only people that like The
Oh,
Saint.
I haven't seen that in forever. I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, rest in peace. Sucks that I don't know how old he was compared to like Tom Cruise.
He was only
65 or
64,
something.
65? Yeah,
Yeah.
65, I think, yeah.
That's definitely way too young, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. And again, the Willow Blu-ray, DVD, Blu-ray video that popped up randomly on YouTube for me in recommendations. This is before he started getting sick, so he looked like a pretty fine mural,
I still gotta
30
watch.
or 53-year-old guy. He was
Yeah.
54 or whatever.
I gotta watch that documentary he did because he filmed like his early days. He was walking around with a VHS camcorder all the time, like filming stuff. And they made a documentary about it. And I don't always have Amazon Prime, so I don't know if it's still on there. I think they were the ones that produced it. But anyway, it sucks. But it's just another one that seems like
Dios.
the older you get, the more
more
celebrities, the more people you know. My high school graduation class of '97, I think we've already lost 7 or 8 people.
Wow.
Damn,
Yeah.
bro.
And we are in our 40s. That's way too young.
Couple drug related. 2 were murdered by the kid's brother.
Oh man, this is a
Jesus.
grim.
And
podcast is
anyway, it sucks. But I'll bring it back up. I do want to highlight some of my recent purchases because I'm pretty excited about. I'm still playing retro gaming, Robert. It's not died yet, but honestly,
That's good.
I think I have every game.
We're all waiting.
I had every game.
All right, when is he gonna turn?
I now bought every game I had on my list except for Wave Race 64. I'd like to own the actual, but no one has N64 games besides all the sports games for some reason.
You got to get the Shindo version, bro. So you can get that Rumble.
You guys know this, but just go through them real quick. I got a Super Famicom to test it. Mario Kart works great. Repo box, but I got the Mike Tyson's Punch Out, which I'm thoroughly
Yeah, we'd never be
enjoying.
able to tell it's a repo box.
This
man.
one's obvious because this isn't silver and sparkly. It's just gray.
Yeah.
But
most people won't know.
this is a real
but I didn't
box.
That
See,
looks
like,
just as clean.
that's the
That
real
looks
box,
just as clean as a repo box.
So this is what the
Yeah.
Contra box probably look. You can't really tell. It's got like a sparkle to it. It's got metal flake.
Yeah.
Double dribble.
Not from here, not from the camera, lazy.
Double dribble.
And then I picked up a clean
Classic.
copy of Mario Brothers 3. It's like, I can't believe how good condition this thing is. $15
clean.
bucks. At the
$15
local, after I went
quality.
drive everywhere in Grand Rapids stuff, my local place 5 minutes from my house had the cleanest version. And then my new pride and joy, I'm so happy I found. I wasn't even looking for this. I didn't think I'd see it. It's
Nice.
got one scratch kind of there. You can see it. Oh, a thin one there. Otherwise, like, I can't believe the condition of this thing. The back's got some, but it even came in a dust.
Fucking thing's 40 years old.
$35. I was happy.
that shit.
I was happy
That's
to.
the
How-
greatest.
how old does
fucking
that make
game
you
to
feel?
put in
Yeah.
and to turn on, man. the
40 years
music,
old, and then
mm,
some Super NES games. I never owned this. I'm actually kind of
technically next year.
disappointed. I thought this would look graphically better than Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but I almost think it's almost not as good. But it could just be my opinion. And I picked up the last game off my missing collection after I got my Super Nintendo back from my cousin. I completely forgot about this game. Is NHL Stanley Cup, published by Nintendo.
Mm.
And it uses Mode 7. It's actually really cool. And then also to complete my collection of games I no longer had, I got Mortal Kombat 2.
Nice.
Games
Good
definitely.
one, Lenny.
Mortal Kombat 2 is definitely not as good as my memory was telling me. It's more simplistic. I didn't remember it being just like 2 buttons for punch and kick, and I mean it's
Mortal Kombat
fun, but
3 is where it's at, man.
it's definitely
truly
not.
underrated.
It's definitely not as good as Street Fighter. But anyway, Also
Well,
got a
also,
got a
is,
repo box for this since I have it came in with the system, but I thought it'd be cool
Nice.
to have a box and TGS paper, baby.
Again, fucking repro. I don't
Not-
care anymore.
This is a repo
I no
box.
longer care. You can buy the
Yeah.
original box if you want to. I'm gonna get me a pristine.
This is the only one. This is the only one
Yeah.
which it looks all right in the camera, but it's really washed out to the eye compared to the original. I looked up like a photo, like a higher quality photo of what the original looks like, and the contrast it's completely.
You can go pay $130 for a box only if you want to. I'm just gonna get me a repro for 15.
Yeah, I
$20.
get you.
I get
I don't give a
I've been
fuck.
getting the manuals too. I've been going all
I'll
out.
get the cartridge, the real cart.
Yeah.
I mean, I have most of the ones I want anyway.
Yeah, I have
already.
the real cart.
But as far as the box goes, just for the display, I ain't paying no $100 for an empty box.
Yeah, same.
I had the
ain't doing that shit no
cartridge.
more.
I wish I had the old style. I know the later ones came, I think, like this. The original Super Nintendo, the cartridge sat in the middle. But then I went and got a manual for this one, which is pretty good quality. I'm happy. I don't know if
Nice.
I'm going to keep buying the manuals, but they're like $6. The boxes are
I like
$6.
reading, especially now. Before I play a game, especially if I'm going back. Like I'll read the manual before I start the game.
I
read
need
the
a
entire
manual for a couple of these games because there's no option to look at view controls or anything.
That's a
But also-
requirement, I think, during that era. It's just to read the manual and
Why
see.
up to even like I guess it'd be 7th gen Wii in the 360.
Yeah, I
like,
think up to the Wii.
And while it's not like mandatory, like I love reading it and see what else they got in there.
No, I don't mean mandatory as like you needed to play the fucking game. I just
Yeah.
meant like it's part of the whole process, the whole of having that
Yeah.
game is to go through that manual.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we,
when I was
there's a
playing,
couple
um,
games where you need the manual. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
play
There's
it.
some games. Yeah.
we better
Very couple, very
get
few.
into the Switch 2 talk. We got a lot of viewers now.
You want to run them off? But Lenny had a good joke. I had to point that out. He said, Terminator Juice depressed me. Let's talk about the Switch 2.
That's right. We need to talk about
We were
the
talking about
Nintendo
the
Direct.
depth and all that stuff
All
earlier.
right, so first we're gonna just grade the Switch 2 Direct on its own without the extra information we found out later. I know we kind of did at the end. I was pretty high on on it after
He was
Are we
after
gonna
the
rate
reaction.
the?
Just
Are we
the
gonna
Direct,
rate the previous Direct? Are we gonna rate the previous Direct the week before?
if you want
Man,
to.
who gives a shit?
What?
That was good as hell. It was
No,
a
it
good Direct,
wasn't.
man.
Oh,
It was really a good
wasn't.
Direct. Rhythm Evan,
See,
Hamadaki.
everybody already forgot.
I already
that
forgot it
happened. I
existed,
said
but-
it would be like
Exactly.
Well, guess what?
And then they went
not
and
everybody.
put-
Yeah, they had a couple
And they
games
put a
that
lot
year.
of the games.
Hamadaki life.
Yeah, Metro
They put a lot of the games that were in that Direct into the damn Switch 2 Direct anyway. So what was the
and
point?
Metroid Prime 2 had the most lamest ass trailer. Like Metroid
It
Prime
was
4. I
pretty
mean.
lame.
But anyway,
Prime 2.
Switch 2 Direct.
Oh, retro like that. He was like, yeah, true. That shit was lame, bitch.
What's up,
I
Sandstorm?
didn't say it, but I was thinking it.
All right, so let's go. I'll go in order from how I see you guys. Robert, just grade the Switch 2 Direct if you want to give some quick thoughts on just like the pacing or the games. I'll get that out of the way. Just get your score out of the way first.
Score out of the way. It's a damn. I mean, there's not much better that you could get with that introduction of a console. Crazy good sounding lineup. I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. The only way to get a 10 out of 10 is like a one more like insane one, like a smash or
That is-
something would have been like what?
That is so weird.
What do you think,
What?
Retro? What's your score?
So I said from the beginning, you show Mario Kart, you show 3D Mario, you basically already have a 9.5 there. I'm gonna stick it with a 9.5 because even though we didn't get Mario, we got DK, and I could have given it a 10. My problem was specifically just the pacing. I'm holding it back for that. You got like one game in the beginning and then basically a couple games at the end, and then fucking 55 minutes of not Switch 2. That just bothered me.
Of like third
No,
party.
they had. Well, it was literally Switch 2, and then a lot of third party, which I was fine with, and I understood why they did the third party stuff. So
Gotta give him some
and it was
love.
good.
I
It was
mean,
good
that's
third-party
third
stuff.
party, and then there's Silk Song again for the 10th time in 10 years. Okay, like
That's
Well,
only
that
they
ain't
haven't
We
shown
don't hype about
fault.
that.
they haven't shown Silk
That ain't their
Song
fault.
since 2019. That's the last time Nintendo showed it. Xbox showed it a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
At this point, I just get mad when they show
Especially
stuff.
to just give it a quick little, nothing. What do you call
Yeah,
it?
I believe it's coming out this year. Raise
It
your
was
hand.
the same trailer that we saw
This
last
year?
or the last time.
I'm saying.
mean, I think
man,
so.
2025.
I think they're gonna want to get. All right, Sandstorm. What was your just
Retro
score?
says no. It's coming out in the next decade.
Oh God.
Sandstorm, what's your score?
Man, I give it a 9, man. I think overall, I think they did a really good job, especially at the beginning, showing off Mario Kart and showing exactly what that could do. They actually, I'm gonna change it because the 9.5, because they did something that Nintendo never does, and they actually talked about
That
hardware
is
for
so
the first
weird.
time. And that is like that. That was wild to me. Like,
Wow.
like they don't ever do that. You know what I'm saying? So that was new in the whole thing.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah, and I would say the reason why I didn't give it a 10, one, because we didn't get the price during the actual direct, which I think was really weird in the first place. They really could have did it regardless of whatever's going on. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. And the one game that they had was like really odd, and I get it. Nintendo's trying to make money, but like the what is it, World Tour or
Yeah.
World?
Yeah.
That's
one, the welcome tour.
Welcome tour. As soon as they said a paid digital game, I was like, oh no.
He taking all my talking points. He just took them all.
But anyway, we'll go into individual stuff. I just wanted to get the scores out of the way.
That's part of my score.
Those were the only two that like really kind of like to me, but like everything else, I think they did a really good job.
All right, T, what's your score?
My score is a 9. I thought I was gonna be the only one with a 9.5 minutes. He said 9.5. I look in the chat; they're talking 9.5. I'm like, wow, this is weird. 9.5. I'm not gonna sit here and like kind of judge the editing or any of that stuff or the pace, because I was all about information. What kind of information am I gonna get? How much, and do I like it? And for me, 9.5. It would have been a 10 until what is it? You make me say World Tour now. Welcome Tour showed up and spit in my face. I was like, what? Like, do I care about Welcome Tour as a game or as an application? No, but I do care that they charge it for it.
It would have been cool as a pack-in.
It's down to a 9.5 for me.
And Bill Trinan had we'll talk about the individual stuff, but Bill Trinan had a comment about it. It's like, come on. But anyway.
Yeah.
I gave it a 9.5 after, like, in the moment. I'm going to drop it to a 9.4 for two reasons. One, because it paused and got messed up for about 5 minutes, so that was a big blunder.
It's exactly 4 minutes when I look.
But if you watch it on the Nintendo Today app, it didn't have that mess up. So there must have been something when they uploaded it.
Also, you watch it on a different region. Apparently, in Europe, it didn't have that problem.
Actually, YouTube shut down at that point because my brother was on at the same time and my cousin was on at the same time, and they're like, and I asked them, I was like, yeah, the whole YouTube, like the YouTube screen stopped, and they were like, oh, that's weird because I was watching something and it paused YouTube while I was watching it, like it froze YouTube.
Oh.
There were so many people on that it shut YouTube down for a second.
I tried another video though, and it worked while that was messed up. I opened another video.
Yeah, Nintendo of Europe apparently it wasn't messed up. So I think it was just America. Though.
The other thing, the other point one is the new IP. I think was a big step down from like ARMS, from what we've seen at this point. The X Ride, whatever.
It was a weird reveal.
That looks like a very slow, very like.
So slow.
You have to have 6 people that are. I mean, unless it has standard controls, which it probably will. You're gonna have to have 6 people that really dedicated, waving your hand that you want the pat. Like, that's not reality. Like,
you don't have to.
I don't necessarily.
So for me, that was one of the. That's one of the lamest.
either. That's not reality.
Yeah.
You know, like
To me,
rooftop
that's one of the
parties,
link-
online.
like,
Imagine when you're playing online, people are gonna go.
It
Yeah, there's
doesn't
gonna
look
be a
fun at
community.
all.
I think the game could be fun itself, but it looked like empty garbage. It didn't
Yeah,
look
it
like
looked-
Nintendo.
To me,
if it had looked different
looked a
and
little
played the
dry.
same,
that
I
looks
would've
like
liked it.
to me it's the
Art
most
Art style wise, I agree.
uninspired
small-
new IP I think I've ever seen from
it
Nintendo.
was a little
Like,
generic
There's like
looking.
small additions to it where there's like there's actually one and like an obstacle course and equivalent to running, but there's also like a points course where there's like actual ramps and stuff like that.
if it also
like a
doubles as like a
outside.
skate park type game, I mean, yeah, there's.
Yeah.
But what they showed, I just got to judge
Yeah,
it
from
on
what they
that.
showed,
So-
you got to judge it. Yeah, you got to.
But
judge
still,
it.
I was
It
pretty.
made me want to
pretty
play that dodgeball game or whatever the fuck it was. We
yeah,
played
it looked
once,
like Knockout
you
City
know?
looks way better to me.
We had fun with Knockout City though. I enjoyed the hell out of that game. When we played
All right,
it.
so
We played it once.
we played
Twice, we played it twice.
we had a little bingo card thing going on, and I was the only one that got bingo, even though Robert didn't hear me say it. So here's my
Yeah,
bingo
I didn't hear you
card.
say it.
Got it with
Wait,
DK.
you said it during Donkey Kong trailer.
Got it during the DK trailer.
Nice.
Damn.
Not a lot of stuff hit though, to be honest. Nintendo didn't have I thought they'd have a Switch 2 game announced. I mean, another company has a game, but I thought Nintendo. No Call of Duty. Capcom, yeah, they had 2 games. Konami didn't have anything. No
It was a
Monolith.
no-show.
Konami
What's
did have
going on,
one.
Philip?
Konami had one game.
Oh, Square
that?
had 2.
That's that kids game. That's
How many-
Survivor Kids.
Oh,
It's
that was
actually
them.
Konami.
So they had
That was
1.
Konami.
Backwards compatible boost mode for all, like, even after all the information. There's going to be games that get updates, but if I just put in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, I don't know that it's going to run any better. So
Gonna be a calamity.
No, apparently it will. Like they, I know this says, but so there was an interview today that they said that it just depends on how it's developed. So like how like if it was uncapped frame rate, I'm assuming it's just going to go hit its target essentially. I'm pretty sure.
You think
what's
so?
gonna happen.
but
That's from the interview from the hardware developer today.
oh really?
It was IGN that I think.
So
yeah,
that would be
probably should
cool.
have linked
That's a boost
Yeah.
mode right there, but they didn't say it at any point.
They didn't say it in the direct though. Yeah, no, they didn't say it in.
So
the
let's-
I thought there was some mouse controls that moved over to Switch One.
I
Just
disagree
the
with
Switch
them
2
on this
edition.
point.
Just the Switch 2
Yeah, but
edition.
that's what they're saying.
I
I
ended
feel
up putting
it's
that
Switch
as like a
1
mark,
game
like
that
as
has
it.
I didn't
feel
count
like
it after the fact. I thought about it. It's like that actually don't count because it's a Switch 2 edition. It's not a Switch 1 game. They might do it, but they didn't show it. So let's talk about, before we get into like what's there, I just want to go next to like, what are you surprised the most that didn't get shown or didn't get talked about? For me, I thought like Doom, the Dark Ages. I thought that was almost guaranteed to be in there. So that was a surprise for me.
and it's gonna be on Switch too. So.
Yeah, I think
have
they've
a
already
feeling
said
it's
it.
gonna show up for the June direct. Like for showcase season, I have a feeling it's gonna show up there as well as some of the other ones that we figure would be here, like Master Chief Collection. I got a strong feeling they didn't want to blow their load all over the reveal and just hold some stuff back.
Yeah, I mean, the November or the holiday. I mean, Pokemon's the only thing really that we know.
Yeah,
but-
we got to remember this system's coming out
We got Hyrule
basically
Warriors.
when everybody
Age of
shows
Imprisonment.
their games for the year. This summer.
Mhm.
June.
Hyrule
That's when everybody has their
Warriors comes out this winter.
showcases.
It says.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Hyrule Warriors is winner.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is also this winter at least.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the lineup is going to probably go Prime in September. What game is in October? Something in October. Pokemon in November, or I'm sorry, Prime in September. Pokemon in October, and then
Mario and
What about
Mario
Kirby Air
and,
Riders?
No,
Kirby Air
Zelda
Riders
in
is summer.
December.
Yeah, Kirby Air Riders, which I don't
I
think.
think Kirby
I don't
could
think
be
that
on
being a big holiday game for
you
them.
said Zelda. You're not counting Age of what is it called?
Calamity?
Imprisonment.
I mean, it said winter,
the
so
new
I
one.
figure.
Yeah, winter could be
yeah,
next year. Winter.
Imprisonment.
No,
Right.
I thought it was winter 25, but
Did it
maybe
say
It
that?
says this winter. It's winter. In the,
Well,
at
I'm
the end of
saying
the trailer.
that's not your big. That's not a big holiday game.
They did Age of
Oh,
Calamity
it's
release.
That's not even Nintendo.
They released Age of Calamity as what a
Big
late
game.
as a holiday season game.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what else
The
came
big
out that
holiday
year.
game is Pokemon.
Yeah, I think
Pokemon
ZA is
Legends
just the big game.
That's okay.
Also,
I don't
Monolith's
mind.
game. I mean, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X just launched, but I kind of
Mhm.
expected that.
Ain't a big
Yeah, me
game for
too.
me. I ain't buying
I
that
thought
dog shit.
I thought Damon X Machina was the Monolith game the way it was looking at first.
Yeah, I was surprised that was Damon X. It looked vastly.
Instantly tell it was Damon is not, man.
Mhm.
With the suits and the faces and shit.
Mhm.
At that point, though, we weren't quite sure like what the Switch 2 visuals were gonna
I'm
be. I think
surprised
so. I was surprised
that
at
game
how
even exists.
fast, how
Yeah.
That thing
how
looks
good it
Damien
looked.
X
amazing.
did it do well? I
That's
guess
what I'm
it did.
saying. I'm more shocked
guess
that there's
so.
even a sequel to it.
That's what I'm saying.
This gameplay looks way
super
more
surprised.
like fast paced and compared
They
to the
talked about
demo
this.
of the first
I think
game.
like T
They
is the
talked
only
about the
guy
sequel
who
like
bought
at
that
least
game.
2 times, I want to say, in a Nintendo Direct. But we didn't actually get to see.
Damn,
gameplay of
TriLinks.
it.
I think TriLink, you're way off. 2027 before you see Monolith's next game, dude. They only take 3 years to make a game after the last one releases.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
a
I
huge
think we got to
development.
start
People
extending
always
that
be
a little
doubting
bit, though.
Monolith. Remember Xenoblade Chronicles 2? Oh, that ain't coming this
Maybe
year.
it take an extra
Shit,
year, but
that shit came, bro.
I wouldn't be surprised
Well,
we
think
see
about it.
it.
It was 5 years for between 2 and 3. I
Mhm.
think it's very realistic to think that you might see. I mean,
It was
it
5
could release
years?
No,
2027.
maybe for Xenoblade Chronicles,
27.
maybe, but we're thinking that their new IP is gonna be the next
No,
game.
it ain't a new IP anywhere. That thing doesn't exist. I don't believe. You're talking about the action RPG one, right? That shit.
Who?
The what?
The woman warrior one. That we were like, oh, we
Oh, the
looked up.
one that looks all medieval and stuff.
That shit ain't a thing. I don't think it's a thing. Man. I've
Yeah,
given up
gave
hope.
up on it. He gave up on it.
It's been like 8 years. I was looking it up. We were looking it up. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Actually, so
I
don't
think
there's
Xenoblade
any
Chronicles.
chance.
When did 3 come out? 22 or 21?
2022.
What year
2022.
or what month though?
The end.
It was
I feel like it was.
August or something like that.
Is that the one where
Let's
they
see.
swap dates with Splatoon? Swap dates? Is that the?
Yeah, because it
Yeah,
came out sooner. I
right,
think it was
yeah.
supposed to be September, and then
I think it
moved
came out
July
like-
2022.
Yeah, so it was close. It was
July?
not quite 5 full years, but yeah, you're right. It was a little longer than I thought.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of like if you look at like I think realistically, and especially you
But
gotta
yeah,
imagine
I mean, it
that
might release in
they're gonna do
2020.
more stuff with it.
Could release in 2027, but I don't think that's when I think we'll see it before then.
Oh, we'll see it. Well, yeah. We have to see it. I think we'll see it like next year, though. I don't think this year.
Yeah. I don't.
What else do you think was an omission that you expected to see?
Well, I mean,
Besides
3D
Mario.
Mario.
I think 3D Mario was on
Yeah.
everybody's bingo card.
So we
But
were
then we found out
expecting
the 3D Mario
but
team-
the fact
It's probably so.
the fact that you had Mario Kart was like, okay, it's possible that they don't show like 3 different Mario games for a new system. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was expecting it, but I was
What's
expecting a
new?
3D Mario less than I was expecting them to show themes. Like, I'm sorry, maybe some people actually care. Like, I was expecting them to show the user interface of the thing itself.
Now we've
No,
seen
they
it.
showed-
There ain't much
They
to
didn't
show.
show that shit at all.
They
And
Because
there's a
showed
reason
that
why.
one. They showed that one screenshot
Where you're
that
selecting the
between
4K.
8 yeah, that's an options menu, man. That's not the
But we've
main
seen
user
they've showed it.
interface.
It actually has it
They
with
showed
one
it?
game.
Oh no, we've
Yeah,
seen
they
it now.
showed it.
Yeah.
And it's the
seen it.
same, but it has 2 different icons on the
Same
bottom.
thing.
Then
Still,
we
there's
don't
still
know
no
if
mute.
they're gonna be
There's
more.
no
But yeah,
music
either
on the
way,
eShop. None of that shit. It's still pretty
I was
dry.
shocked that we didn't see that wasn't.
It's
gonna
crazy
be-
they went with the pretty much the
done that.
exact UI or operating system when they confirmed that the hardware itself is like it's
Much more.
it's
capable.
very different. The games don't just work automatically like I thought. They'd just be
Yeah.
so similar. I thought you just plug in a Switch game. No, they actually have to. They're testing all these games and they're finding quite a few now. Like Doom Eternal doesn't even boot up.
Yeah.
So-
Because it's
I mean, the
emulation.
list though they tested
It's
like
basically
like,
emulation.
yeah, it's that
if you-
layer
if you
like
notice
the
they tested
Linux.
The list is way bigger.
Like
Like,
the-
it's like 12,000 that are third party that have been tested.
Yeah.
For some crazy shit.
And they either have an issue starting up or they start up but they're not sure if it'll work all the way through type stuff. So
All the way through.
that's
right?
a lot like what PlayStation had to do with the PS4 at backwards compatibility on PS5. They could. I remember when they're like the 100 games were guaranteed 100 games. And everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
And then it turned out almost everything worked, but
Yeah.
hopefully
They just couldn't guarantee it. That's because
Yeah.
you got to sit down and play through you know, you know,
Uh-huh.
2,000 games. Who's gonna be able to do that? Nobody ain't gonna be able to do that shit
So actually, some of the
from
things
start
that
to finish.
some of the things that surprised me, the number one thing, and I almost didn't want to put this on the bingo card. I thought it was just not going to happen. Was the built-in voice chat? I think Sandstorm suggested that when we were doing the bingo card, creating the list of things. I
That was
did
like a
not expect
no-brainer.
that, to be honest. I was my least expected of
Yeah.
all the bingo card things on. Like, there's no way. And yeah,
They not only did they do that, they went above and beyond and
They
brought back
went
Wii U
Nintendo
video.
with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
went. I mean,
Wii
if you're
U video
gonna,
chat came back.
the way they do it, the way they're doing it is definitely cool. I mean, I
Mhm.
like that they're doing it that way. You can have, I think you can just have your game be the full screen. If I remember, then you can have it
Yeah.
where the icons are small. You can have them where the icons are bigger, and
Yeah.
the camera. Like,
And then you
I,
can have it like green screen background with your face.
Yeah.
I
and
wonder if it
gameplay and
automatically
different
does that
games.
without a green screen.
That'd be interesting.
Well, they don't. Those
I'm
they
sure
definitely
it
weren't
does.
having green screen.
I
They
mean,
have
that's
to.
literally
Yeah, they
Yeah,
want green
yeah.
screen.
That's what
You can
Discord
tell
does
the difference
too.
between green screen and the ones that kind of do the AI
Mhm.
thing
Yeah.
with it. They can tell the person and their background separated.
It
So
might,
that was definitely one of those.
What's crazy?
What Discord does, you
Yeah.
don't need a green screen. It just
hmm
does the AI thing.
What's crazy
Yeah.
about this whole thing is that for the longest time, I'm semi okay on like online related games and stuff like that. Like if I play with you guys, I'll play with you guys. But like that's not ever really my first priority in a game is really online like that. And mostly it's because of the the lack of real interaction with another person. Like I don't sit on the phone that
Yeah.
long. You know what I mean? Like if I call somebody, it is an intentional call, not a hey, how you doing? Let's just talk about our day type of thing. So, but like with FaceTime and stuff like that, like I'm a lot more prone to do that because
Yeah.
there's an actual person.
It's gonna feel more like you're all in the same room than just. But
Yeah.
when we do game nights, we just use Discord and do audio. And
Mhm.
the only thing that it seems very Nintendo like if they don't let you do an external microphone, if it's just that built-in microphone, because my Switch is going to be in a cabinet behind like a door with like metal grating. Like, there's no way that's going to pick up my voice in there.
I
Yeah,
wonder
that's
if it'll
true.
work with the audio
But
jack.
the Pro controller, hopefully that audio jack lets your voice go through in a
Yeah,
Yeah,
headset.
hopefully.
That would be awesome. But yeah, I thought it was really cool.
We can all be playing different games. We don't got to
I
play the
know,
same.
Yeah.
but it
shit.
also
Yeah,
makes
that's crazy.
We can share
games that are
games.
like games that are just 1v1.
Yeah.
Like you can watch. You don't have, the game doesn't have to have a feature that lets you watch the match. I mean, it's not gonna be the best.
And
It's gonna be choppy,
for
but
those who don't think that's cool, that was one of my favorite things about the DS. I was we used to play Mario Kart DS on our lunch breaks at work at the time, and I was the only one with the game, so everybody else had to be shy guys and shit. Well, that kind of sucked, but it was just fun to be able
Yeah.
to have one person that had the game, which was me, and everybody shared, and we played that way. It was pretty awesome.
yeah.
Well, that's
So
why I've noticed some people like, oh, look at the frame rate on that footage, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
why you
yeah,
worry about your opponent's
cares?
frame rate? Like, I don't care about that shit.
it don't even like
that's-
watching someone else's screen. Like it doesn't really
You're
like it doesn't need
no.
to be the highest
you're playing the
quality.
game wrong if you're staring at somebody else's screen. You're failing.
For me,
now
it's
if they're
it's
like,
just
hey,
at the
this
end
is
of the day,
I'm stuck here. Like, you don't need to
It's
be
not
perfect.
about like having everybody
Pristine.
at 60 frames.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not about that for me. I don't know why people even care about that stuff, but
yeah.
Well, speaking of
Like
60
in the other,
frames,
like,
let's.
what other platform does that where you have 4 different people showing 4 different screens and
I haven't
like
seen
In
it.
PlayStation,
man.
you can share your screen to one person. I don't know if you can share it to multiple now. Like,
that also, but can you share and also watch the other person? I don't think so, right?
I can't remember how it worked. But it did let you take control of the other person's game, though. That I don't think Switch
Yeah.
is gonna. Switch 2's not gonna do that.
No.
But, yeah, I mean,
You
I
know
think
what it reminded me of, real quickly? You know what that whole thing reminded me of? And I don't know if anybody really remembers this, but Nintendo had a patent even before the Switch came out that talked about an apparatus that would be a piece and that other things would connect to it for like power purposes and be able to utilize it. And I thought it was the Wii U, the whole Wii U thing, And then the Switch came out and was like, oh, okay, so this actually must be what the dock is about. And now they're actually showing that. I'll go find it, but like this is actually that. That's what that was. I don't know, 8, 10, 12 years ago.
I mean, I can replicate it right now. I can just click on Robert, make him big, and then we're small underneath. It's basically Discord what they're using for it.
Yeah. No, but it's not nearly the same now.
No.
Now, where am I gonna? I'm gonna put up a game now. I'm gonna play a PC game, and then I'm gonna show my camera. How am I gonna do that? How do I do that? It doesn't work that way, you know.
Unfortunately, I don't think my living room setup's gonna work for the camera. I mean,
yeah, I know. I thought about that too. Like, I don't think I could even place. I don't know where I'd place my camera, to be honest.
My setup is perfect, so
I mean, it's $50. It's not too bad.
In front of the TV.
I wonder if you can use.
I want the Piranha Plant camera anyway.
Yo, that Piranha Plant camera.
I'm still buying that bitch.
Yeah. So I don't want to be the guy. I get annoyed when I watch people stream and they only like comment on the negative stuff. But I do gotta call out this stupid comment. I'm sorry. It's a paid feature though. Name a system where you, other than PC and Discord, name a game console where you can just video chat, share your screen, and chat with people while you play games online. That isn't a paid feature. And we're talking about a $20 a year subscription service.
We're talking about a subscription. As of right now, they're not.
Are we sure it's $20 a year?
Yeah, I don't think you need the expansion pass to use the game chat. They didn't.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Even that would be 35 and.
Well, that's the thing. At this point, it's we were all everyone's talking about, oh, well, you need more incentive for the online. You need more incentive for the online. They gave you incentive.
There's a ton of incentives now.
Hey, why do I gotta pay?
The Switch Online.
I can't complain about it anymore.
The Switch Online has enough stuff now.
Yeah, and honestly, genuinely, when you think about, especially after that, you got the crazy cool chat that if you watch the reaction, I first was disappointed. I was right at the bat I wanted Miiverse. I thought it was gonna be Miiverse.
Right.
And they kept going and going and going. I was like, oh, they're doing a lot with this. And then they're integrating the camera with games and stuff. And the games and your face goes into the game. I'm like, bro, no one's doing this. There's not a single person. And I love that.
Connect is cool. All of a sudden, Connect is cool.
There was
right.
Hey,
still no.
I was
still
no
text chat.
though.
Yeah, no text chat though. That's
no
crazy.
Messaging still. That surprised me.
That's
again,
true.
you got video. You got all.
You can share your screen, but you can't send a screenshot to somebody. I've been waiting for Retro to reply.
I thought
you can. I thought it was
when you're in the chat, you can, but I just mean it doesn't seem like we don't know. Maybe it's just something they didn't think was worth making a big deal about.
I think what it is that the cool thing, and we did confirm that they have the app that you could just like the PlayStation app. You could download your last 100.
Oh, that's true.
Photos and stuff. So that is all I personally need. That's what I want. That's what I use.
I love the integration though. Like Terrell, Retro, and I message you every once in a while on PlayStation. Sometimes I reply on my phone if I get a message and I'm just not on my PS5. I see the message and the screenshot on my phone, and I can reply to you right on my phone, vice versa. It's so seamless, and I know Xbox is the same way with their app. And it would have been nice if their app, because the only thing that they added was the GPS, the notes for Zelda. That's the only new thing to the app that I've heard about in years. Since I don't know if Animal Crossing had an app functionality. I can't remember the last game. I forgot that was a thing. I forgot the Nintendo app was a thing.
That notes piece is significant.
Most people have.
I didn't realize it was going to do all that they had it doing.
I don't. Again, I'm not gonna keep bringing up negative comments because that annoys me when I'm watching a stream
only focus
and
on
they only reply to the negative, and it's But if you're gonna at least have some factual evidence, don't just make up some stupid claim. I'm just gonna ignore it from this point forward. What's up?
No Miiverse.
Yeah, I want Miiverse though. I still want Miiverse.
T-Rizzy.
We were talking about things you thought the direct, or you're surprised they didn't show, and we were getting into things that we were surprised they did show. We're about to get into that, but any big omission, something you fully expected them to show or talk about that they didn't?
I think the only thing I would say is certain third-party support. I was a little bit surprised no Microsoft anything. It didn't necessarily have to be Call of Duty, but I expected some Microsoft stuff.
Microsoft Monster
Just to
Hunter
reiterate
Wilds.
for those
Somebody
in-
brought up Monster Hunter Wilds earlier. That was a good. I thought for sure
Monster
that'd be there.
Hunter, I imagine Monster Hunter will probably be there either by the end of the year or early next year, personally. I did give it an 8.5. That new IP is an insult to even be compared to ARMS. I don't give a damn
Yeah,
what
that's
anyone
what I
says.
said.
Mhm.
Don't you ever, don't
Who's
you
comparing
ever.
it to arms?
I
Well,
mentioned
because
it
they're both,
earlier, but
I think that's a fair comparison, but it still bums me out because it's such a disappointment on like,
Why is it
You could
especially
compare
aesthetically.
the Welcome Tour to Arms.
I would
That's
Welcome to
that's
is
not
a
a new
better, is a
IP.
better.
That's a Bill Trinan described it as for those that want to know more about the tech inside the Switch 2. Like that's not a game.
Man, come on. Come on.
Cisco called it feet.
Put that shit on a goddamn system.
It's only
That should be
$10.
system.
It's only $10. Then you could have put it in. It's that argument.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I think. Exactly.
If you can argue how cheap it is, then put the bitch in the damn system. like
Only
it should have been.
$10. You guys think it's
Could-
cheap? Holy shit! I think it's pretty expensive for what it is.
Like who's gonna pay for that? That's what. Who's gonna buy it?
I
Which
mean,
one
there's
of
some
you
cool
is
You almost
gonna buy that
want to
shit?
buy. You almost
Just
Which
for
one
the
of you,
HD
Robert?
Rumble, I
Which one of-
think.
I'm gonna
I
pick it
will.
up.
I'm not
Be
gonna
honest
lie.
with you, I'm gonna
Not
pick
day
it up.
one.
Just for the
Not
HD
day one, but I
Rumble
will.
Don't buy that shit,
feeling, to
man.
like get a true
At some
HD Rumble
point,
experience. I
Throughout this
almost
whole life, I'm gonna. I know.
Watch
throughout
somebody
this-
else
almost
play it.
buy it
Well, I'm
just to
gonna
have
pick it
that
up.
No, that's what I'm
Switch
saying.
value go up. You know, like having PT on your PS4. Like I would buy it for that.
You know why?
But
You
that
know
shit ain't
why
going
I
nowhere.
actually-
That shit's
you know
gonna
why-
always be there.
You know why I
Yeah.
actually want to pick it up though is because it's unlike
God
most
damn,
of
that's
the other
three. That's three now.
unlike most of the other tech demos. I kind of want to see all the talking and stuff behind it. I don't want to watch it. I want to experience it, and then doing all the quizzes and all the other stuff. Like that's a good pastime for me.
Do you think
Why
it's
not?
justifiable?
you're only gonna do
for
it
them to
once,
sell
though. Be
you that
honest,
shit?
you're only gonna go.
One time.
Do I think it's justifiable? No,
Yeah.
and that's a lie. I would actually use it more than one time. Because I was one of those cats who had 1-2 switch who was going over everybody else's house and being
1-2
like, yo,
switch is a
That's an
game.
actual game, though.
play this ball game. Guess how
Yeah,
many
you'll
balls are
use
in
it. You'll
this
have it for other people, but yeah, there should be a HD Rumble
1-2
2
Switch is a
built-in demo on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Also
I agree.
about
I'm
PT,
disagreeing
because
with
you
you.
were
I'm
like,
just adding
oh,
this
it's
to the
gonna. T was all like, oh, it's gonna stay there forever. I mean, Mario 35 says hello. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
They
but no, that's
deleted
not
a
the same.
Mario game,
That's
man.
not nearly the same
Anything
thing.
is
Yeah.
fair game.
All right,
That's
so
not the same thing, because they literally said when they announced it, they announced when they were going to remove it. The literal same day.
Yeah, Welcome Tour is going nowhere. That's just gonna sit there for the entire life.
Oh, it's
of
going
Switch 2.
nowhere. It's staying in the ether.
Yeah,
It's not
it,
getting on my
it
Switch.
definitely ain't going on my Switch unless that bitch is free. That's some bullshit.
You don't
It's
think
some,
you wouldn't-
again,
you don't think
I don't care about that. I don't need that to play.
I'm
I don't
not
need it.
like I'm not mad
But
at
I'm
them.
angry about it because it should be fucking on the system.
I know.
Because it is about the system itself.
It had to
You
been
know,
designed. It had to been
it's just-
designed for that purpose, and then they're like, "Oh, we could probably. This is almost enough for a game. Like we could make it."
Yeah, they absolutely thought that. You know.
We could make a little money off.
And
it.
it's
that just,
yeah,
that
a lot of
doesn't
the
seem
pricing.
like Nintendo to me.
I agreed. Somebody
no-
brought up like some of this stuff would have never happened under Iwata, and then somebody's like, "You can't speak for a dead person. You don't know what he would
I
have
said
said."
that. I said that. That was me.
You definitely can say Iwata that would have never happened.
Why would not have that be charged? No way. No
No
way.
$80
He's
game.
charging us for that.
You're
no
not
way.
paying $20 to upgrade.
Nope.
Think about it with like Face Raiders on the 3DS and stuff. Like they built in software for that, and that means today they would have sold that. You know,
They would have sold that
Face-
today, which is
Sold Face-
pathetic. It's pathetic.
I'm glad it's only
I mean-
10. I thought it was gonna be higher, so I will
I
say
mean, I
that.
thought it was.
I mean, I thought it was going to be
it was-
$3. I'm
I
just
thought
saying.
it was Reggie who got the pack in the free stuff.
for Wii Sports, not for Face Raiders. That was just
Wii
that was
Sports
just
he
a thing
got.
that they did.
Like, I wouldn't have been
Yeah.
mad about Wii Sports. Wii Sports is a full-on it's a
Yeah.
perfect showcase of what the Wii is, but that didn't need to be in the box.
Yeah,
like,
that's-
that is
that
a
just
full
was like
game.
That was like too.
I wouldn't have been mad
That
about
sweetened
that.
the pot just way too much. Like it's
Yeah,
just
just sweet-
for
yeah.
$250 with Wii Sports was crazy.
Right.
Well, people like to bring up like also like Nintendo Land, and while Nintendo Land, yeah, most people bought the 300 or what was it,
Yeah,
350.
350.
Realistically, that wasn't a pack-in. You know, it was a pack-in for that, but that's like
You paid that though.
But you also
You
got
paid for
the
that. Yeah,
you
you
also
paid for
got
that.
the
You paid
extra
for that.
16 gigs of
you
storage,
did
which
get
at
the
that
extra
time
storage and
that
stuff.
was
Like,
probably
it was a
$20-$30.
bundle. Yeah, So I mean, I can't quite consider Nintendo Land a pack-in, but it is
No,
technically very
because
much
there was a baseline Wii U, and it didn't have that in there.
But
yeah,
it was
and
a
they sold it like literally as the game.
it
Nintendo
was
Land.
a
So,
undoubted
That's like
like
saying the Mario Kart bundle,
yeah,
is you know what
exactly.
I'm saying? Like,
That is
yeah,
the
you're
packing
paying
game.
for
That's
that.
the packing game is Mario Kart World. Like
Yeah, it's not,
technically not
no,
really. That's true. Yeah, not really technically.
no.
but
give
they
you a
did give it
discount.
to like with the extra storage and
They did.
the
Yeah.
digital
And the
deluxe
digital
program and
deluxe
stuff.
program.
I
Digital
mean,
Deluxe
it was
program,
a
yeah.
crazy. It was way better value than just the base weight.
Yeah,
Way
again,
better.
Well,
Digital
hey,
Deluxe program.
T,
That's Iwata, son.
T,
Yeah,
how
that is
about
Iwata.
this? If you ever want to play it, I'll just send it to you.
I'll just watch it. I mean,
True.
I don't need to play.
I'll just send it to you. You can play it for 2 weeks, and then I'll just take it back.
That's true.
Is it going to be a digital
2
game card or
weeks?
not?
Bro, that's like half an hour of gameplay.
And they
in
kept
that
saying
thing.
like in the household you have to like you have to be on the same internet connection for that digital game sharing to work.
Yeah.
No, it's you connect once so you can actually link up, but it's like
Yeah, but you have to be in
in
person
my
at one
household,
point.
it is actually going to work a lot because I got my stepdad
Yeah.
and we are going to.
I
you
think
can't-
that's only to Switch, though. I think that's only Switch 2 to Switch, because Switch 2 to Switch 2, it said online,
For what?
but not
I did hear about online, and that's why I was curious. I was like,
Yeah,
there's no
from
way I'm going to be
Switch
able to
1
share
to Switch
Welcome
2.
Tour with T or something.
I don't think
You
so.
know,
I don't
they
think
can
it's going to
Switch
work that way.
Can somebody explain to me?
There's no way they're gonna
What-
do that
Dude,
online.
It's
No.
just
They're
Yeah.
gonna sell
just
10
online.
copies of games, man.
Exactly.
Which messaging has been more confusing, Switch 2 or Wii U? That's what that's what I want to know.
Oh, Wii U, 100%.
They swore up and down. Oh my God, the Wii U! I
think
didn't know what it was.
The Wii U
I had no
itself,
idea.
it was mixed messaging from the media. I was never confused.
Yeah,
I think the Switch 2's confusion is everything else besides what the system
around
is.
the console.
right. And it's mostly this is mostly a Nintendo problem,
Yeah.
not the media. This is
Because to me, the Wii U confusion was just idiots who didn't really follow. Like you see,
Yeah.
Nintendo invited all these influencers to get their hands on, and like I
Mm.
look at a couple people's channels, they never cover Nintendo, they never played Nintendo, they never talk about
Mhm.
Nintendo. I'm like, I don't care what this person says about the Switch 2. But like, there's no confusion about what the Switch 2. There shouldn't be about what the actual hardware
okay. What
is.
Marquise Brownlee thinks about the Switch 2?
But as far as all this other stuff has been, like, we debated for a while today just about the Switch 2 edition, which I got some other feedback from other people, so we'll get into that. But let's focus on some positive stuff for now. Let's like, a lot of people were DK Bonanza. There's a lot of Donkey Kong fans. Personally,
Looks
I would have
great.
rather had the 3D Mario, but still a cool
But
announcement.
it looks great. It looks great. Donkey Kong.
Put it down, T. Put it down, T.
Honestly,
Time, bro.
the biggest surprise for
What?
me was
Tears in my eyes.
120 hertz, HDR and variable refresh rate,
Killed you
And
with that,
4K.
didn't
Nintendo, is that you?
4K
Are you okay,
60
Nintendo?
Metroid Prime. Honestly, that
Never
was
expected it.
that was the
4K
biggest
60
surprise.
Metroid Prime, bro.
1080p
What?
120. Like, if you ain't got I know I made sure Sandstorm bought the appropriate TV with the right specifications. As I get it, make sure it's not one of these 150 hertz fake TV. You want 120 hertz, legit 120 hertz frame per second, 4K, HDMI 2.1 TV. There's a lot of TVs now saying like 200 and something hertz. It's just fake.
That's bullshit.
It's just
Yeah.
it's their motion smoothing stuff. That's how they get away with it. So you want a true 120 hertz panel, and I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say 120 hertz is like, oh my god, it's the most game changing thing, but it's super
You can
smooth.
feel it.
It's really
it's
smooth. Like, I played Ori in the Will of the Wisps. I had 120 hertz, and going back to 60, you definitely feel it. You don't feel it as much at first going to like turning on the 120 hertz.
It's not 30. It's not 30
It's
to
not
60.
30 to
It's not that
60,
kind
but
of
when you go back to 60, like Rocket League, when I went from the 144 hertz on PC to 60 on my PS4, I'm just like, wow. You do feel a little bit of that stutter when you turn the camera and stuff, like, so that's cool. But just they said 4K. They showed the menu selecting the 4K. They said HDR support. I was like, no way. This is not. Who is this
And that bitch
Nintendo?
looks clean, bro.
And yeah, all the
Yeah.
visuals for the Nintendo games, especially during the Treehouse, during
great.
the Direct, I was like, holy crap! Like this just looks so good.
I was not expecting this bitch to be more powerful than the Steam Deck.
I honestly wasn't either.
I'm gonna tell you that.
I
I
don't
was
know.
not expecting
I don't
that.
even remember what we said. I forgot.
I've said several times during past podcasts, I'm like, guys, Nintendo, you're never gonna see 4K 120 FPS. Like, it's not gonna happen.
You
Okay?
gotta eat all them words.
I wasn't thinking that either, man. I didn't think so. I wasn't too sure.
If they supported it dock mode, I would have never guessed the portable mode would have had a screen that supported
120.
it.
Yeah.
The hands are
Yeah,
the
120 hertz screen
the people
on a
who
Nintendo console. We're like, what?
people
Yeah,
who
Those are
have
the motherfuckers that gave you the Game Boy and then the Game Boy Color and then the Game Boy Advance
without
and then
backlight,
like-
you know.
yeah, with no backlight still through all of them
Well,
bitches.
to be fair, I guess you talk about underwater. Underwater, would he have done this? Like, would he have actually
No.
gone more power?
Probably not.
With
Might have
Miyamoto
done
and the
it.
old guys like doing the system, I don't think so. I think it's the young
Alright.
guys that are in charge that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
they highlighted at
I-
the beginning.
For me,
I've never
they
seen
kinda
these people.
glossed
It was
over-
cool to see new people. It was cool to at least see
Yeah.
like new Nintendo people. I thought that was
For
very
me-
cool.
For me, they glossed over it real quickly, but they even added 1440p ultra wide.
Mhm.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
settings.
Whoa.
Yeah, in the system. Yeah, in the system
Crazy.
settings.
Ultra wide, bro. I can use
Really? I
my
didn't
monitor on
see
my
it, yeah.
Switch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shown in like a screenshot. They don't really mention it, but it's shown in the screen.
And then they
Yeah.
confirmed Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom run at 1440p. I'm like, yeah, they mentioned the Breath of the Wild on Switch being 900p back in the day, but it's just crazy to hear them talk about resolutions.
So I guess I'm gonna have to wait until Switch 2 version to finish Tears of the Kingdom.
That's what I said. I'm
Oh,
waiting.
I didn't know.
I know,
I
I'm
thought
waiting
you
now.
finished it. I thought you
Oh
finished
no.
And I will say,
I put
like,
another 100 hours in.
I'm
it.
still
You
playing
gotta
it.
turn
I'm
that
still
card,
playing it.
man. You have to go turn that Zelda fan card.
I can put no.
you're gonna buy the Switch
even
2
a
edition
frame
for
rate.
80.
The frame rate is why I couldn't finish it. So now I can finish it now.
22 frames and it kept
Well,
skipping.
to
I mean-
to me, the only reason why I haven't finished it is because I've just
You didn't
been
finish it
doing so
either?
much with it. No.
I ain't the only one. Leave me alone.
But it's not on a technical standpoint. It's just every time I
I don't like
play
this
the
lack of
game,
representation.
I end up
How is it I
doing-
finished the game and I'm
Right.
less of a Zelda fan than you,
I
man?
don't ever do the actual
Oh,
main
It's,
quest
it's
stuff.
not technical either for me. I was just bullshitting. That's like I just haven't beaten it.
And it really
I-
does.
like, I'm still
I could
playing the
easily
game.
put another 100 hours in it, so
Yeah.
it'll be worth it for me to upgrade. So it'll be worth it for me to upgrade.
I
Well, no,
started.
but it's a
so-
part of the expansion pack which we have.
Yeah, we don't even have to.
Yeah, so you
for
don't have to pay
It
for
was
that.
free!
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
for free.
since we mentioned it anyway, I can might as well sidle into my biggest surprise personally. Fucking new Hyrule Warriors.
Mhm.
Let's fucking go! And that shit ran
Whoa.
With no
smooth.
link.
Having that
so
with the Switch
excited.
2 power,
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors DX specifically is one of my favorite games ever, man. It counts as that. I love that Age of Calamity did the thing more focused, and now having that with the power of a Switch 2, being able to actually have a shit ton of enemies on screen. I just
Without
fucking
shit in
love
the bed.
I just love the Warriors franchise. It's one of my favorite franchises, and specifically the spin-offs are
Same.
always so good. I can't fucking wait for Age of Imprisonment.
I'm
man.
surprised they
Definitely
didn't
my
play
biggest
that
surprise.
in the treehouse. It must be.
I also think it's
Yeah,
funny
I
that
don't know, man.
people dogged out Age of Calamity for its frame rate. I'm like, have you ever played any Dynasty Warrior games? That's
Yeah.
kinda-
It got
that's
pretty
kinda-
bad
That's
at
kind of the
They
norm.
times,
updated
so.
that engine.
That's
They
kind of
finally
norm.
updated that engine.
Yeah.
I saw people
And,
who were mad.
Again, Hyrule Warriors DX is buttery fucking smooth, man. That thing is incredible.
People were trying to act mad. Like, you teased me. I thought I was gonna play a Zelda in a 3D Zelda. You are playing a Zelda, but
What?
Did you see the Koei Tecmo?
in the
I knew what
beginning.
that shit was right when
Yeah.
right away. when
It
I
shows you
started.
how
Yeah, once
little
they
these
said
people
Coach
know.
Taylor,
Clearly.
It shows you how little these
For a
people know.
second, I was hoping it was my Mario Warriors, but come on, man, more
4K,
fucking
Although
Zelda.
this part- when this
2160p,
happens-
4K. Look at that.
Hold on, there's a part, and that's why the casual
here.
this part. People
I
will
think
be
that's.
like,
I
Whoa.
think that you're playing right there.
You are playing
Yeah.
there. Yeah, you're
I
playing
think
there.
you are.
Yeah.
But that's
That's-
not
you're playing
Hyrule
that.
Warriors.
But if they don't know that Koei Tecmo makes Hyrule Warriors
Exactly.
games, then that just exposes them.
They're not a
Yeah,
real
you got
gamer, man.
exposed. You're exposed. Either you weren't you wrote paying attention
You're
at
a
all.
phony, big phony.
Are
This
you-
is where
Look at
this is
this,
where
man.
they
Look
look
at
at
the
Oh
game.
my
Oh,
God.
good.
I see a little frame rate there.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
See
not
where this
locked.
comes
I
out.
bet money is
It's-
not locked.
But
no,
just-
it's the stream.
just
Whoa,
playing
whoa,
as
whoa.
these characters and seeing more of the story,
Copyright.
seeing more of the story. Like I hope it doesn't pull Age of Calamity and it's like an alternate reality. This needs to just be what
Yeah.
happened.
No,
That they
this
didn't.
looks
No
direct.
link. There's no link.
I
That's
still
crazy.
love that
Link.
though. I still like that.
It's cool,
link
but it
doesn't
wasn't.
direct.
You know what? A lot of people.
Unless-
It wasn't what
unless
we.
the
It wasn't what
egg
any of
goes
us were expecting.
Unless
Yeah.
that little egg bot shows up, then
Dare I
Yeah.
say it
Yeah.
subverted our expectations.
Yeah.
coming
It's-
this winter. There you go.
It subverted our
Let's look at
expectations,
this.
just like
Winter.
I
This
mean-
winter, by the way,
Just like The
is
Last
gonna be
Jedi,
like
it subverted our
March next
expectations.
year. I'm
Yeah,
just
this
saying.
winter could spew into could spill into
Spew?
2026.
Spew? Jesus
Spew.
Christ.
If you're gonna spew into this. Anybody know
you
that
into bullshit.
from Wayne's World?
Yeah, I guess
Wayne's
technically
World,
it's-
man, of course.
That's Wayne.
Look at how good this looks. Really good for
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors aren't
Yeah.
exactly known for. or-
If they just
Good
gave
games,
you
yeah,
a
that's crazy.
still of this team,
Man,
you would have thought they came up with DLC for Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, it looks literally
Is
the
that
same.
the original castle? Oh shit!
yeah, so
The original Hyrule Castle.
this is a definite pickup for me.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look, I'm be
Oh,
honest.
yeah.
There's 7 Nintendo games coming out this year that comes out by June to the end of December. I'm picking
You
up all
copping.
7.
You copping them.
I'm not
Picking
getting
up
all
all
seven.
seven.
You're getting the Ride X Ride or whatever.
Absolutely.
Hell no.
Ride X Ride.
Absolutely.
In the what?
Whatever it's
Oh,
called.
Drag.
The
Drag X Ride.
A Drag
Oh,
X
Dragon
Ride.
Drive.
I am too.
Nah, I'm gonna wait on that.
I'm gonna be
Yeah, I'm gonna wait on that. Y'all can hold on.
court.
Y'all can hold that for me. Hold it.
Plus-
Just hold it.
plus-
I'm not even
Pussycat
gonna
on the court.
wait on that. That's just a definite no. Hard pass.
They need to-
It might be.
Give it
I'm saying,
$20.
I might pass on it, but I have to wait and see.
Unless
if
they
it's-
got
What
some
if-
really
yeah, but-
cool shit that all of a sudden they show in the next
What if
trailer.
it's $20, man? What if it's
All I have to
$20?
say is if you
I don't give a damn.
are
That's
Sure.
when I get to save then.
I ain't
All I
buying
have
it because it's cheap. Kinda
all
shit.
I have to say is if you're a paraplegic,
If it's $20, you shouldn't have made it.
at this game. It should be no question that you should be the best at this game.
Yeah.
Without hesitation.
Well,
I
here's
will
it
the,
is-
all the
it is
credit.
Are you trying to
crazy.
shame people into supporting this game?
No, I'm just
Is that what we're doing?
I'm just
Yes, absolutely. What do you mean?
That is true, though.
You don't see these kinds of games, guys. You got to support them when they come out.
You mean
I'm
games for
Doesn't it-
I
paraplegics,
ain't
but
gonna lie,
not
though.
for paraplegics?
I was
Right,
surprised. I'm like,
exactly.
is it not like? Is it? I was surprised when I saw there was like people in wheelchairs. I'm like, wait, is this okay? Do people like okay with that? Or people not okay with that?
I didn't know how to
guess
feel
they
either.
What do you mean okay? What does that
I
mean
know.
okay with it?
asking is it okay if a black person's in the game? Like, oh, are they all right with this? Like, are they
I'm
okay?
sure the
Yeah,
guys
wait,
that
wait,
play
wait,
the
wait, wait.
sports and
There's
the
a there's a
wheelchairs
correct answer to
are
that
gonna love
question.
it.
Yeah, we love the black people in the game, but if they have that Killmonger outfit, they gotta go. I gotta go.
Oh,
We're,
man.
we're shaving the head.
Or
We're shaving
messed
it.
up-
We're
or messed up
shaving it.
cornrows. 3 cornrows.
Oh, we'll never get that right.
That
Oh, that's
ain't
the L. We're just taking that L, bro.
Does this feel exploitative? It feels a little exploitative.
Well, here's the
to me. I
problem.
don't know.
You know what's funny?
A
You know
black
what's
character
funny?
play basketball in a black game.
Wait, you want to know what's so funny though? Is that those things are robots? I think they're
Yeah.
robots. So someone
Yeah.
created handicapped robots that are.
Yeah, like what
They
are
have
we
no-
doing here? Just make real people. At
Why
that-
didn't they just make
No,
them?
man.
Yeah, why didn't they give them? If you're gonna like just to pull
I
in
thought they
arms,
were
make some
real
unique
people.
Even they were
characters.
scared about what they were
Yeah,
doing.
it's
That's
not real
what-
people,
Yeah.
retro.
Make some
Jesus.
unique
I thought they were real
characters.
people just suited up, you know.
It's
think
even
they're
dumber
robots.
that they're robots. That makes me even more
No, I
not
think
gonna
it's
buy it.
hilarious. I think it's what?
The robots is
I
a
think it's
mark.
hilarious.
You like Cyberpunk and have them people.
No,
are
No, but
robots.
how stupid?
You know
How
what?
that would be
Even in Star
insulting.
Wars, they got some silliness.
I feel like that would be insult. Like
That would be insulting if they are robots. I hope.
I think
Hopefully, they
that's
have,
funnier. I think that's conceptually hilarious.
hopefully they have on
You
some
make
kind of suit.
paraplegic robots. That's funny as fuck.
but they missed an opportunity to make some like really cool characters that people want to actually select.
Right.
Just
I hope-
generic.
I hope they
bland.
I hope they were originally created as normal robots and then they broke their legs or something.
I think
Put
it's
them in the wheelchair.
honestly, I feel like it's the best idea they could come up with for the mouse to use the dual mouse. I think
Yeah.
that was just the
Alright,
best.
hold on.
It seems like they're really playing it safe that they're robots. That's super safe.
Yeah.
To be
Like,
fair though, like
go all the way and
They need
represent, man.
cats and put them in
Literally
wheelchairs.
represent.
Drag and drive
Represent.
for Smash Bros.
I
That's
hope
all
they
I'm
crippled the robots and just said, "I'm not gonna fix
Oh.
them."
Drag and drive for Smash Bros.
Yes.
There's no, they have no.
I'm about to drag your ass right now for that statement, sir.
Even
if
the
those characters weren't so generic,
and the wheelchairs just look all like just
you might have
gray, like maybe a
Well,
red
I mean,
or a blue.
Well, again, we'll see,
Robots don't have a lot of
Everything
personality,
is-
man.
Yeah, you can
Everything
make
is
stuff
generic
like-
about
looks
that
like you can
game.
take
Oh, I hate the way it looks. I just hate it.
other than the concept. The concept is not generic at all.
No,
Do
the
you
concept
really-
is cool.
I'm
It's
not.
everything else around it is the
That's
problem.
The only thing that's not generic is the control. It looks like a
Should've been a-
Miyamoto game at E3 on Wii U. Like
That looked like a tech demo.
experimentalized, unfinished tech demo.
It
That's
does
what
look
it feels
unfinished
like.
tech
And that
demo,
has
absolutely.
to like tell me that doesn't look like a free to play game, like a free to get started. But they don't have anything to add. They're not going to have all this
It doesn't look like
Cool.
there's anything. That,
customization stuff to add.
Especially from
calling it free to play, I
Nintendo,
think, is a
man.
little insulting
Like,
because
think
you're
of-
implying that the game is finished and it's not.
Yeah,
Think
and
of
texture wise,
that
it looked like a
Rocket
3DS game. Texture wise,
No, 3DS has better textures.
Retro's trying to talk.
I'm just gonna say, think of the fucking arenas Rocket League did 10 years ago.
exactly.
And then look at
Exactly.
this game, man. It is an absolute insult to game development, this shit. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. Come on.
Whoa.
Insult.
They must
Wow.
not have hired
I
any.
think so, bro.
They must not have hired any artist. You know, like concept
Yeah, well,
artists.
that's the thing is, I think they filled a bunch of game developers and then they forgot the artist. That's just what it is. That
I didn't
Yeah,
even
okay.
watch it on the Treehouse. I was
And
like,
you-
I'm not
and you
gonna
look at
watch
something
this.
like
Oh,
$20.
you
You look at something like $20 snipper clips with way more personality to it. Like, what the hell is this?
I predict it's a
What is
$60
this?
game, personally.
That bitch
No,
better
I don't
not
think-
be
I
anywhere
don't think so.
near 60.
I don't think it'll be 60.
Anywhere near it.
All
I'm
right,
gonna shame it.
let's go back to the
They don't have, like-
positives, though.
They don't have like that is a positive. In my opinion, that was a positive. So, that's a game for me. I'm getting it.
I was
I would
surprised.
think
What was I mean, people talk about Cyberpunk, but I was actually surprised to see it there. They said that the demo was only 7 weeks old. Hopefully, that doesn't mean that they've only been working on it for 7 weeks, and that was just where the demo was where it was
I
when
hope
they made
that
the
is
demo.
what it happened. That'd be a crazy turnaround.
But it's like, so really, they
That'd
didn't.
be
They
crazy.
just start like Nintendo wasn't putting out dev kits for people. Like they just got.
No, I just like the idea that it only in 7 weeks they were able to get that much.
I mean, that's
accomplished, 'cause
cool,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
CD Projekt Red is kind of busy. They are doing some things.
They
yeah,
are working. They have jobs.
Yeah.
Man.
I feel like that
Families
that
eat
wasn't
and
like
whatnot.
their current build is probably further along, but
Yeah.
you know,
Because I heard it technically runs better than the Steam Deck version currently.
yeah.
I think the Steam Deck version for one isn't 1080p from what I remember. It's like 800.
No, it looks dookie.
It's not.
People
And
Texture wise, it don't look good. It just don't look
I
good.
think
People who
both
tech-
of them running like 30 or I think it's what 30 to 40. Like if it's in performance,
Yeah.
it's 40.
Yeah,
And if
40
it's,
tops.
If it's quality is 30. So
It's
from
all
people
one
that
cart
were
with Phantom Liberty.
yeah, all on the cart. Which
hey,
we'll get into that
That's
later,
crazy.
Yeah, with
but
a 120 hertz screen. and
I'm gonna get Idris Elba. I'm gonna get Idris Elba in a small cart in my hands. It'd be great.
Yeah.
people who were there who are like,
And I'm gonna put him right next to my Keanu Reeves.
Hey, and I'm buying that shit. You know what?
I think I
that
would
shit
too,
is,
man.
they put that bitch on the cart. I'm buying the whole. I'm happy to buy. I will not touch it, but I'm not touching it on the Switch
It's
too.
gonna be in my house.
But I will buy that.
I might-
because I
I
I
love
would
the
probably
effort.
get it, man. I
I-
would probably
I
get it.
love
I
the
haven't not
effort.
played Liberty yet, and I was just gonna play it on PC. And
I wonder if I
probably
have cross
still will,
save.
But like, oh, it has cross save too.
I
That's
wonder-
right.
It's cross save. Yeah, it has cross save, so you can play
Yeah.
it.
You ain't losing no progression in this house.
You losing no
Yeah,
progression.
Hooray!
I want to support. CD Projekt in that way. Since I mean,
You know
it's
what?
such a good thing.
I take it back because I haven't played it on Legion Go, but I don't like how it looks on Steam Deck. If I want to play it portably, I might have had to play the Switch 2 version. How
That's true.
crazy is that? over
is
my
crazy.
over my powerful PC handhelds, I choose the Steam Deck. Or excuse me, the Switch 2. That's crazy.
Damn.
it sounds like
This
it's
man has,
ahead
like,
of the ROG
3 Steam
X.
Decks, 5 Lenovo's, all because it wasn't a Switch. And look now, man, you gotta
Yeah,
buy like
turn
4
that
new
bitch around.
Switches.
They turned that shit around. God,
That's
Um,
crazy,
To be
man.
fair, also the Legion Go is like $700. So like, if I would hope it plays better on the Legion Go.
and this was on sale for a long time.
But
for
also,
500.
it's got to run Windows and stuff. So if there's going to
Yeah.
be some advantages of Switch too. I will say though, people that were there saw it on the TV themselves that are familiar and tech savvy says, you know, it's expect about PS4 level of like visuals, which is impressive.
I heard better. I've heard
in some way,
I
but
heard,
like in some aspects, it's going to be able to do things with some of the new features than PS4 ever could. But just a general rule. From,
Also, by the way, I didn't know that the PS4 didn't get the DLC from what I was told. I found out through
Yeah, it
watching
didn't
some.
get-
no.
I
Which
think
is kind of
barely-
crazy.
it
that
barely
means
got
it's
the game.
PS5
That
version.
was the worst
But the
version.
Switch 2 is
Yeah,
That
look
means
at
the
look
Switch
at
2 gets
I was
the
like,
PS5
yeah,
version.
yeah.
Also,
impressive.
is it as cool as the Street Fighter 6 announcement? It sounds like it might be one of the game key card games.
No, it is.
Oh,
It
yeah,
that
it
and,
is. It definitely is. Anything
that
come
and
from Capcom.
Bravely Default, which kind of pissed me off.
basketball
Bravely
is
Default.
stupid.
That one is
Bravely
really,
Default shit had
I
no
will
business
not-
being a key
I
card
will
game,
not
dog.
put that,
It's
yeah.
11 fucking gigs. Why is it not on a cart? Give me a break.
Yeah, just
Give me a break.
fucking.
Yeah,
It just
that
makes me
was
angry.
horrible.
The reason I think
That's that bullshit Capcom does once in a while that really pisses me off.
yeah, I think the reason
Yeah.
Nintendo did it though is they're trying to eliminate the partial games on the cartridge, which
Yeah.
so.
No,
No,
I get
don't
it.
have a problem
But
with
the
it in
problem
concept.
is that
I have a problem.
it's going to be too
Well,
easy for
with-
these companies to
practice.
do it. They're going to default
Exactly.
to it instead of, you know, like, somebody had the file
Robert-
sizes for the
But
Switch
see, certain
game, for the
games,
Nintendo
certain
game.
games, I
buying
think are
that
a lot.
shit.
Certain games, it's not a problem.
Look at him. Look at him. You
In
can look
a
at this.
way-
He gonna be buying that shit, which is gonna be ruining it for everybody.
In a way,
Ooh.
that's
It's
not
a
the
physical
worst.
copy.
This
Yeah.
man already buys like boxes with a fucking code in them already. He
It's
happily.
better than that.
Oh,
I will say.
This is gonna be-
no.
It's gonna be nothing for him to do. It's gonna
Came
step
from
up.
his neck, yo. That's crazy.
Well, you know, I was sending in the chat. I'm like, I installed Modern Warfare 2 for the Series X, and on the disc is only 70 kilobytes.
Yeah.
While everything else is 190 gigs you have to download.
At
And
that
I'm like,
point-
this is literally that. This is
Yeah.
what that is. So
Well,
it's like
that they
it
do
doesn't
that
matter.
because the game won't fit on a disc, so that's why they do it.
But I don't.
So, yeah, exactly,
I have no
so-
problem with
Wait,
wanting
how
to get
big
rid
is the
of
game?
code
Is
in a
my
box.
question.
I
Well,
mean,
Call of Duty. I mean, it was like 190 gigs or something.
Oh,
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. At
Yeah,
that
Call of Duty
point,
is
what are you going to gain?
ridiculously
Because you
easy.
have to install the whole thing. But with cartridges, you don't have to install whatever's on the cart. Is what you don't have to put on the system memory. So in that way, it's almost on Switch. It's almost a negative. But at the same time, are they going to be
So what's the
cheaper?
Switch version
They,
of
they
Call
should
of
be
Duty gonna be?
cheaper. I'm sorry, but I know they won't do it. But a key card game should be cheaper than somebody who puts the game on the cartridge.
so here's a question, too, is with this whole game sharing and all of that, like, how is that going to work with games like this?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
It's just a
Like,
you just have to
It's
you
installed
hand them the
on
cartridge.
No, it's installed on the system, so you're just doing a digital game card of that.
okay.
No,
So,
but the
like,
game
no,
key
no,
card-
no,
With digital games.
No, the
No,
game
no,
key
yeah,
card, you just give somebody the you hand them the
It's
game
creating a
key
digital
card.
copy. Yeah,
They
yeah.
put it in and then they download the game, but they can only
Well,
play
I
it.
meant, like, I only
Talking
meant
about
like the
game share?
actual sharing. Yeah, like the actual game sharing.
Well, I'll tell you
where
what,
they-
you ain't gonna see game share if it don't have Nintendo on the logo. Ain't no one gonna do game share.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening outside of Nintendo.
Outside of
maybe some-
Nintendo,
Are you
That's
talking
not-
about what are you talking about? The game chat?
game
Share?
share, like
No,
literally
game
the
share.
the clubhouse games game share stuff.
Oh, you're talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
it has to be a game. Like I think Digital Foundry
It's
was talking about
compatible.
this.
it
You're
has
not.
to be a
You're
game
not
that's
gonna do it
designed
with.
for
You're not be able to share a game where you're running like four split screen, four races, and like whatever Shinnen's game's called. Fast.
No,
Fusion.
not that. Not that.
Fusion.
The what they showed
Fusion,
in the
gotta get-
direct like last
Oh,
week.
you're talking about
where you
digital
can-
game share?
sharing.
Yeah, where you
Oh,
can
yeah.
give somebody else the game.
That's a
and, like-
digital
Oh, the
game.
virtual game. Oh,
The
you're talking about the
virtual-
virtual game card?
Yeah.
That's only
Oh, that's
That's
digital
different.
games.
That's
Oh, it's
only digital.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
the game key
Yeah.
card, you just hand them the game. It just looks like
That's
a
why they
cartridge.
shouldn't even call it a game
That's-
card. Just say it's a card that you have to download. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
just a
that's-
download. Like
That's what makes it confusing because I'm
giving it
assuming
another
that
name
it was
makes
a
no
physical
sense.
game, but
Nintendo
like,
wants to have their own
but
kind of
you're, like,
special naming.
making it digital, and it's like technically it's a digital game, but you have to have the key card in order for.
Yes,
to
by
actually
very
access it.
technicalities, but just view it as like I said, Call of Duty on Xbox. Like you have the physical game, you put it in, you play. Like
From
it
what
just-
I've seen
it's
though,
like-
they don't show any box art or any image art. I don't know if that's because they don't want.
No, it is. It's the image, and then it says, and then there's
No,
like a
on the
little thing
actual
that says-
cartridge. I mean, does the cartridge actually have? It just looked like a blank cartridge that they
like
showed.
red around it, and then
Yeah, they didn't.
you
I mean,
know.
I'm sure it's gonna be the.
Maybe
but
they
I
didn't
guess I
want
don't know, I didn't
to
see.
pull out a specific game to confuse people,
They
but
haven't shown.
Bust
No, they haven't
people out.
shown.
it's like
I just don't know what
if you have the game installed
Amazing.
on your Switch too, and one of your kids has it on their Switch, then you just hand them the game key card. They play it, and they hand it back to you, and you can play it. It's that simple.
We gotta. What is wrong with Nintendo? Why would they add a key card name? Just call it. It's a game. It's a game that you have
Yeah.
installed. That's it.
'Cause
There's
that's-
nothing more to it.
No, because they wanted to be clear about, hey, this is what it is.
But
You
it's
down-
not clear. It's
Yeah,
confusing.
not all games are gonna have the full thing on there.
That's it. You put
Yeah.
download required. It's over. Like that's all. That's all it is. That's what it is, right? You download the game. So download required. Boom. You don't have to say game key card game, Nintendo Switch 2 edition game, Nintendo Switch game, Nintendo Switch enhanced game. Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah,
What are we doing here?
I
I
think the
think it was
game key
because-
card is a easy.
Using the shit out of it.
I think the biggest reason is solely, I think, like T or whoever said it, whatever developer ends up not wanting to have to pay that extra cost for their game to fit in. Bravely Default is stupid, but anybody else who doesn't want to pay that extra cost, these cards cost less. But I also agree, if they're going to use these cards, then the game should automatically be less than what a game with the actual game on it is, because I think that's a little ridiculous.
Because they're paying
Well-
for a 64 gig cartridge. You would think that'd be $5-10 extra.
Is there no in between?
There's no in
8
between.
and
Oh,
20. What is it?
8 and
20 what is it?
16. It's 8, 16, 32.
Okay.
Yeah, 64 was the biggest
so
one.
there is an in
to use.
between. So why the fuck is Capcom not getting a 16 gig card for?
Because then they have 5 gigs that they haven't used, and that's money.
I think publishers are
bullshit.
just going to default to that. To be honest, I think
It's some bullshit.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
it's going to be. It's like EA. I'd expect EA's game.
Going to happen more and more.
I'm
Mhm.
honestly, I'm not gonna
What
buy
about
it.
EA's presence on the direct there, huh?
Hey, 3
that's something
games.
big.
Oh, it was
They fuck
something.
up big.
They
Without
just showed like a CGI football and a,
Yeah. But they had
And
Joseph
soccer
Ferris
ball.
for Split Fiction.
oh, that's
so
right.
I like
That's
that,
true.
but I don't really, it's not really EA, but it is published.
The
by
only thing EA
so-
that matters is the originals. EA originals are like it. That's
Right,
like the best
which
thing.
is Split Fiction.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. That's
anything
literally
else
it.
is
Everything else
bullshit.
can go
Well,
can go to doo water and die.
We didn't really talk
Although
about.
I'm intrigued by 007. I'm just.
We'll
I'm a
see.
fan
I'm not
of-
gonna play. We ain't
No,
No,
playing
man,
that's
the
not
007
EA anyway.
game.
I
That's
am
not
too.
EA. That's
I'm
that's
intrigued.
IOI Interactive.
But that's not even EA. That's right.
Yeah, it's Hitman. That's the
I
Hitman
Hitman.
guy.
bro.
IO.
Which is cool. That's cool.
How much time did they spend just talking about the Switch hardware and then the game chat? Felt like about 20 minutes of that hour.
Yeah.
I think
It was. It was. It was
yeah.
around that.
I was
It
like-
It
close
was
to that.
way more than I thought it was going to be.
Me too. Yeah.
They
Every
started
time-
talking
I do
I
want
think it
to.
was good. I think that was good.
I do want to
about-
discuss
No, I enjoyed
something.
it. I had no problem with
I
it.
do want to discuss the critique I kept hearing online, because people got mad and kept going, "Why is Nintendo talking about game chat like it's a feature that they just created, and it's not?"
Because they did.
But here's
They
my
haven't
thing.
had it.
But here's my thing, and here's my
That's what I'm
argument, because
talking
people all the last few generations, Wii U, Switch, oh, you guys don't have native voice chat, oh, it's on the phone, Nintendo, you need to put it on the console. Okay, cool, they put it on the console. To me, you have to let people know that you put it on the console.
Yeah.
How else do you promote it if you don't
y'all
talk
ain't got
about
it. Y'all ain't got it. You got it now. Why y'all talking about that shit?
That's literally what I kept seeing. People kept literally talking about why did you like they're the first to discover it. If they didn't have it and they have it, promote
And they did it in
That's
a cool
literally how
way.
it goes.
You're not
They-
the first to discover it. They got it, and then they also gave it to us in a cool new way, like nobody else has. So
Mhm.
that
the
is
fuckers
something
promote
to
what they
talk
got.
about.
That's crazy
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, that's just hatred. That's just Nintendo
Yeah,
hatred.
Well,
that's all that. That's
Maybe
all that is.
I don't know. We probably won't. I mean, probably could do a whole podcast on the another. Was it the Wii U or the Switch that had the hidden costs? Was it Switch One?
That sounds like something they discussed
No,
on the
Switch
Weapon
one.
Wheel.
I
right now.
listened to a.
They-
I listened to a
They
Switch.
talking about that on Weapon Wheel.
I listened to a hidden cost from Yang Yi or whatever, and I'm just like, I was.
Oh no!
I'm
Oh,
like-
you mean Kiryu's voice actor from Yakuza.
He said, "Oh, the hidden cost. The Pro Controller is $10 more than the Switch One Pro Controller. It's been 8 years. You don't think the DualSense is more than the PS4
here's my
controller?"
thing. Here's the one thing they forgot to mention. You can use your Pro Controller that you have now on your Switch 2.
Or you can just
All that
use-
shit's backwards compatible.
or you
They
can
didn't
use-
mention that shit at all.
Or use the
So why would you
controllers
even
that
buy
comes
anything?
with. You don't have to have a fucking Pro. I mean,
You're not
get one.
required to buy that
I'm not
Pro
buying
Controller.
one to that bitch gets cheaper. It's
Yeah,
Or
easy.
you wait until
It's
it goes
very
on
easy.
sale or some shit. It's not
Right.
like
It's like, oh my god,
The Switch Pro Controller is great already. I don't really need
10
to
years of
upgrade it.
inflation.
You
How
like
can
the
it be
fact that they
$10
added-
more?
I
I
think
do
I
like
just
the
come
fact that
on,
they
come on.
added 2 more.
See, the hidden costing doesn't work when you have a backwards
Yeah,
compatible console.
there are things to complain about. We'll probably get
Yeah.
to those.
Yeah.
But that's not one of those. Come on.
They
come
said,
on.
he said, you have to be a Switch Online member to buy the GameCube controller was a hidden cost, because why would you have to be a Switch Online member to buy this controller
Because you can't get it
that you
without
need
being a
to use,
Switch
that you can
Online.
use? You have to have Switch Online to
It's not
use.
online to even use it.
Maybe
What the
you-
fuck?
It might work. It might be able to
Now,
work
if you
in
want to
regular.
say, "Oh, that sucks that I have to have Switch Online to be able to play GameCube game," that's an argument you can make. Okay, I'm with you. But to complain about that, knowing that you need the online,
To use
In
the
the first
controller.
place.
what are you talking about?
You need it in the first place.
You're just trying to
So-
complain about something
That
at that
was
point.
absolutely stupid. Yeah, I
It's
think you
so
can probably
stupid.
use it with regular games, maybe. If you,
Yeah,
I don't know why
you can do
want
that
to.
with yeah. You lose.
They
the
even show the
buttons there.
grip. They show the grip controllers on it, so you can use the grip. You don't have
it
to have
ha-
a GameCube.
It has the C button on it and everything, so you can use it for other.
Mhm.
And here's
games.
the thing,
I'm guessing.
But
you
that
probably-
actually
you
would help
probably
with
use
scalping,
the GameCube
though.
adapter that you have from the Switch One,
Yeah.
Oh,
which was a carryover from the Switch.
But that's
You
a
know
hidden-
what?
that's
You
a
play
hidden
Mario
cost.
Sunshine on the 3D All Star.
That's a hidden cost. You know what else was a hidden cost?
Man.
The Welcome Tour game. That's a hidden cost.
It's not a hidden cost because you don't have to buy it.
And
Wait, he said that?
yeah,
How is that a hidden cost? You don't have
because
to buy it.
he kept saying Astrobot's Playroom. It's just Astro's Playroom.
It's
Astrobot
Astro
Playroom was came
So you
with
know
it.
he ain't played that shit at all. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean?
That
You
might
don't
be
even
a
know what
video.
it's called.
That literally, I'm gonna be real. That might be a video. Just
can't
I
even
literally
tell you what the
might make that a
fucking-
video.
That's got to be a video.
I was listening to it while I was
That's gotta be a
driving. I'm
video.
like, I don't want to look at my phone while I'm driving. It's kind of, it wasn't like sunny out, but it was kind of bright with the clouds.
It's so
I'm like, I'm
stupid.
not gonna mess with my phone. I'm just gonna listen to this nonsense.
That absolutely might be a video. I might have a field day with
The
that. one.
only
That's
thing-
ridiculous.
I agree with was he was talking about the game key card. He made one good point, but he also missed the point that this is Nintendo's answer to having games where part of the games on the cart where they like use a 4 gig cart and then you download 20, and it's like, just get rid of that. That's just stupid. Just have either you have it all in the cart or you have this game key card. That's your two options. You can't have a partial.
Mhm.
From what it sounds like. From somebody that read the fine print, that was like this game developer guy. He's been making some videos on it, and he's like, yeah, reading everything I read, you either have it all on the cart or use a game key card. That's why I think most publishers are just going to use the key instead of putting it on the cart, which is going to suck. I don't actually plan on buying any game key card games, so, and they're all going to be third party.
If
so.
I get them, if I get those games, it'll be digital and just skip the.
Just
BS
buy
and
digital.
Might as well get them digital at that point.
have the convenience of digital.
Well, I won't
You
get
want
a
a box
digital
on the
because I won't-
shelf?
You know
you
why I
buy
won't get 'em-
paper,
You want a
man.
box?
Shut the fuck up.
Hold
You
on,
want a
hold on.
box?
Hold on. You know why I won't get them digital? And you know what? I got to think hard and that I'm just talking back and forth in the comments. I wasn't realizing that if there's no more, like if there genuinely will never ever be like a card with a code on it, the physical games will, even though if you don't call them physical, they're going to be cheaper than those digital copies, especially the way I play games.
Yeah, they
down the
will.
road.
You would think that
Like-
they would be able discounts and stuff.
It will be discounted. Like you're not going to get a digital game. Like again, keyword I'll bring up
But-
again. This game is $70 right now if you buy it on Xbox Series X and PS5. I bought this game for $7. So
What is that?
the
the
quarry.
Quarry,
Quarry,
one
okay, yeah,
of the
yeah.
Until Dawn games type of game.
Yeah.
But,
That's a
But
good
the thing is,
point.
like,
but
that's a
again,
massive thing. So imagine, like, let's say the Quarry came to Switch 2 as a download or as a game key card or download. Your download is $70, but then the game key card is $30. Why are you
Especially,
buying it
I-
digital? Even
we'll see if
that's a
people.
massive difference.
We'll see if
it's a
people
massive
actually
difference.
buy them. They might just be sitting on the shelves like those Cyberpunk copies were initially, when they had stacks and stacks of them for like $5 at Best Buy when I
Or what? What are you talking about?
For the key card games, maybe people are like, "Fine, I'll just buy the digital version," and they might just be sitting
But
there,
yeah, but
and then they'll
you
drop
know
the
who?
price.
Yeah, okay, but those people are also dumb. In the end of the day, it's going to lower the price on eBay and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, of course I'm gonna buy that. It's going to be the cheaper option. Absolutely, it's not even gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
if
actually,
you
for
ever
some reason, I didn't even
decide-
think about that. But this thing is awesome now that I think about it. If you're gonna replace either a digital copy that will never go down in price, or have a thing that you have to download anyway, but is half price, why the fuck are you not picking up the half price thing? Like that's a big difference.
Obviously,
they
then
explained
you
it that way.
pick up the cheaper
A lot more people
version.
be excited for it. I
there's
think.
a lot of people.
It's
There's
just
a lot of
confusing.
people who are going to turn around and probably end up selling those games at some point anyway, and they're still sellable versus an
Yeah.
actual digital game.
It is definitely better than just the code in the box.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah, I mean, literally the
I just
download
think
code in the box,
publishers are
you
gonna.
can't resell it.
I think
You literally
the
cannot resell
majority
it.
of third-party games are gonna
Well,
be
I
on
think
those.
what I think what we're trying to say, or I guess we're probably both trying to say, is that instead of doing a physical game, they'll just revert to putting it as a digital card or whatever it's called. Fucking that saddens me because it's like, okay, they'd probably just rather do that. Where I like my physical games and shit. I like
Yeah,
my
for
physical
sure.
game. Though I went out and bought this stupid ass edition. Of,
Oh, that's. I
Baldur's
thought
Gate.
it was just a regular sized box. I
Oh
couldn't.
no! Oh no! 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 This is the
No, this is big dick energy.
there,
Come on,
there
man.
is no just the game on Xbox. You have to buy this edition to get it physically on Xbox. So that's how much I care about having a physical game that I would
Look,
do
I
that.
agree to you. That's why. But
Is
but
the actual
you get what I'm
disc in
saying?
the package? You sure?
Oh yeah, there's
Okay.
there's multiple discs in here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of those-
it's on. Oh, it's on the game. I did all my research. I was spending that kind of money. But
No,
do
so
the
T,
research.
but you get what I'm saying? That if you're looking on the eShop and you see a game that's $70, but then you find, yeah, you have to download the game because it's physical, but you find it for $30 on eBay. Why wouldn't you pick up the $30 on eBay?
Of course, why would you? Of course you would do that.
That's huge. That's a big
And
benefit.
What I'm
honestly-
saying is, don't call it a physical, man. Don't call it a physical. It's
Okay, not
fucking
physical,
We'll
but
call it a
would you not
metaphysical.
buy the?
In the short term, once you have it downloaded, it's. I mean, it's going to be no different than your physical game cards, as long as the
Exactly.
art
Yeah.
isn't like really. As long as the actual the game key card, the gay card, I almost said, actually has like good
Whoops.
art and stuff on it. Like it's not some lame looking thing because they're.
I'm the one with the pride shirt
It
on, man.
still
Yeah.
doesn't
Mario
matter
Pride.
for me. If the
So Mario's
internet-
gay confirmed.
Look,
Yeah,
if
that's
the
right.
internet fucking dies tomorrow, I want to be able to put that in my system and play a game, and you can't.
Well, if
So
you
it's
can,
not
if
a
it's already
physical
on there,
game.
if it's already downloaded,
it's-
you
no,
can.
it's already on there.
If your system gets wiped and the internet dies, you have to be able to put it in and play a game, and you can't. It will never be a physical game. Sure, it's a different option or an evolution
Yes.
of digital games. I don't care.
Right.
But it's not a fucking.
20
physical
years
game.
from now,
It's
trust
not
me,
a-
Right,
you're not
Retro,
gonna have
but
I hate it.
again, Retro, the option is the cheaper version of that same game, and that's really
Unless you want to
helpful.
play it day one, it isn't.
Unless
It's
you
a,
wanna
it's a
play it
cool
day one.
evolution of
right.
digital games, maybe, but
It's more
But
of
no, I
evol-
agree. Look, I
Retro
agree.
bags in the
No,
fire in his
it's the
eyes.
evolution of
Don't
physical
you ever
games.
It's
call
the
this
evolution
physical
of a
around
code
me.
inside a box. That's
It's
what
the
it is.
evolution
Wait,
of
wait,
physical
wait, wait.
games. At
Wait,
some
wait,
point,
retro,
that's what I'm
retro.
worried about.
What if it identifies as a physical game?
I think in
Don't
the
call me digital. I identify as physical.
20 years from
Yeah,
now, you're
man.
gonna be able to find the damn game
to
to
me
to
nicely.
put on your system. You're not gonna have to worry about it. But anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. Let's talk about Mario Kart World
That's
because
hilarious.
Yeah, let's talk about Mario Kart.
I mean
World.
that was a really good trailer. The music was really good.
It looks incredible.
You know what wasn't good?
It looks
That
fire. It
price
looks
tag.
fire.
Forget the price tag.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the good first. Let's talk about the good.
I will
for
say-
now, yeah, for now.
Watching the treehouse, I do have one concern as it pertains to just like the standard Grand Prix stuff. I don't love. They're like, oh, you race between the tracks. You race a track and then you drive to the next track. Oh, that's cool. No, the driving to the next track is the first 2 laps. Then you get to the track, and you only do 1 lap on the track, and then that's for games or for tracks that actually have laps, not the what do you call them, the ones that are just a straight line, not straight line, but they don't loop around. They go on and it ends. Like what's an
Yeah.
example? Like the mountain from
Mount Wario.
Mount Wario.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, really? That's your answer to like so I'm racing technically two of the laps are just on these wide open streets and stuff, and then when you get to the track, it's only one lap on the track. That to me is disappointing. I'm not gonna say it's gonna ruin the experience because Grand Prix is gonna be one of those things you play the 50, the 100, the 150, and then it's gonna be online after that. I'm guessing the online just other than the what do they call that mode?
You can be doing straight up tracks online.
I hope it's just the tracks. Like I don't want to be. I hope that doesn't. Whatever the name of the track is, always isn't just the first 2 laps are getting there. Like I hope that's just the Grand Prix, because it's like
I personally actually I like that idea because
Yeah, I
it's
do
gonna
too.
create the tracks in between the tracks. You're more free to race them how you want. It's a bit more crazy and
but
everything.
it gets rid of some of the
because it gives
technical
you
stuff.
extra tracks in the game.
Yeah,
I know. I
that
like that
sounds
idea.
better than probably it will be in practice.
I like the tight current, like the tight corners and like learning the tracks. Like
Yeah, that's a big part of Mario
these
Kart.
are
is
just
learning
pretty,
the
a lot
damn
of
track.
straights, a lot of
Yeah, but
nothing
then you
crazy.
optimize them, like you still learn it.
But yeah, I honestly that and somebody else I said it right away watching the Treehouse, but some of the hands-on previews I watched, they said it's not exactly feel like Mario Kart when you're just on these wide open spaces. You're not really worried about cornering and it's just chaos. And I'm like, that to me
Well, I
maybe
disagree.
it'll be
Yeah.
great, but I'm just saying, from me watching the Treehouse, didn't even watch the day 2 because I was like, I'm a little bummed by that. The other mode, which I can't think of what it's called, that definitely
Knockout tour.
Knockout looks pretty
Knockout was
cool.
fun.
That's
Cool.
going to be
That's
intense.
basically that's basically battle royale. You know,
Mhm.
it's-
Yeah.
And then
which
they
is
didn't
pretty
even
cool.
Which means
concept.
Nintendo invented it, obviously. Come on.
Right.
And they said though that they weren't able to show like all the stuff you can do in the free roam
Well, we have
mode.
another direct in
So
about
the-
a,
Got a
about,
direct soon.
about
They said
10
it in the
days.
Treehouse, and then Bill Trinan said it. He's like, "Yeah, I think you guys are going to be. You just stay tuned for the direct to see what you can do in the." Because there's one
A
who's
lot of
they're on the water,
influences.
and there's a giant ocean serpent in the distance in one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Come on.
Let's talk about those
Yeah.
damn waves on one of those scenes in the direct. That looked like straight out of Wave Race quality. Like,
Man, why they do that? To me?
just give us a water track
Just give us a
where we're
just give us a wave race, Nintendo. Quit bullshitting with yourself.
just
Come
have
on,
a Wave
man.
Race
They
section.
said, if you look at the, there's a screenshot that people are going around that you have the overworld map and you have all these characters around the map, and
Yeah.
each like area has like different like question marks, like
I'm
like
pretty sure they're
10
gonna
of
do
them.
some adventure thing, like to make
It's gonna be
you
some adventure thing.
explore.
Like,
Yeah.
you think they're gonna have a Mario Kart Direct to just say, "Hey, by the way, let's repeat the same things that
Yeah.
we just
Yeah,
showed
I
you." No,
agree.
they're gonna
That-
show some crazy shit. Like, it's
Remember
gonna
the
be
last
awesome.
Mario Kart Direct? You know, it was came out for a pretty good game when the last time they had a Direct. I think it's gonna be cool. Like for somebody like me who used to play Mario Kart 64 and I used to drive up to Peach Castle and shit.
That's
Mhm.
I
literally
drive on the
right.
track.
that's
Hey,
that's
Clocked,
retro
man.
During the
Can we
race.
talk
Oh,
about
really?
this
Did
guy's
you say
hair?
that?
I said it to Clocktech
talking
and
about Bob Ross? Leave
Bob
that
went
man
in
alone.
private because I thought nobody
Dude,
else.
I didn't even have to look.
Oh,
Leave
I used to do that
Bob
shit all the
Ross alone.
time. That
That's
shit
what
was
we would
amazing
do.
to
And
me.
you would play like tag with people, some stupid
Yeah.
shit like that.
So I didn't
Exactly.
watch this day 2 footage yet, so this will be my first time.
And
I want-
also, what I will say is like my favorite thing to do in Forza Horizon 5 and 4 is drive around in the free roam. Just drive. I love
It's
doing
so
that. And so to
exciting,
do
yeah.
this in Mario Kart with a creative, artistic looking world from Mario, come on, I'm in love. I'm
So
in
this
love.
is going to
This
be a
looks
Grand Prix. I
amazing.
want to see if this is the same where the first race is 3 laps on a track. Oh, they're showing the same circuit again. Damn it.
Well, and that's my thing is that I I think
Immediately crashed.
I want to see because I would be so surprised that they don't have a quick play race where you could just literally play only the courses.
this
There
looks
has
different.
to be.
This
It
looks
would be
different.
so
Also, it's like
weird.
it's like a small detail, so I just want to quickly mention that I'm absolutely fucking in love that they're going the Sonic Racing transformed route
Mhm.
with the.
Look at this. I didn't
Look
even
at
see
that.
this yet. This is my
Holy
first
my
time.
This was
God.
on day 2.
Yeah.
Oh my
This is
god.
at Wave
gorgeous.
Race level.
So this should
And
be
everyone has
is
a
this a
unique
normal
animation.
track?
Dude, look at the snowman. Come on, this game is gonna be phenomenal. Phenomenal.
It's gonna suck. I definitely not paying $80 for the game, so I'm gonna have to get the.
So what are you doing? What are you
bundle.
doing then? Are you gonna buy
I'm
the
gonna have to get the
bundle?
bundle.
Buying a bundle. Yeah, I'm buying a bundle too. I ain't paying no $80.
Like I ain't even gonna lie,
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
this
get the
this is a
physical.
legit track here. It looks like you get 3 laps like the other one.
Just like Tears of the Kingdom, I'm buying that shit later at a discount. Physical. I ain't doing that shit.
I didn't
Look,
see
I
what
don't blame you.
CC
Like, I
this
hope
even
you
was.
don't blame
even
me.
if it ends up costing me more, that's how I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it.
I'm still shocked to
No,
see
look,
an
I don't
18th
blame anyone.
position.
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
don't
like
blame anyone. I get
I'm
it.
still
I do
adjusting
get
to
it.
seeing 18th place.
Yeah, 18th place.
18th. What is this?
I mean,
F-Zero?
look, this
Also,
is
they
a
have
game
so
that
many items that they brought back and new items.
Yeah,
it's
they-
crazy.
This looks pretty washed out. I don't know if it's because they're streaming in
Yeah, it's-
HDR. And my
Yeah, it's pretty washed.
and it looks like on the PS4 when
Blows
you
it out.
record HDR
Yeah,
and it
yeah, I
can't
know-
just
It
do
yeah,
blows it
HDR.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, it's not-
even my phone does that too.
It's
Camera
because they
on
recorded with
HDR.
HDR on, but they didn't upload it in HDR, so that's why it's messed up.
Yeah, when I take video from
'Cause
my
that-
phone and put it on my computer, it's all blown out and shit.
So I mean, this game. I mean, I
This
hate.
is the perfect launch title.
I hate to like. I don't agree with their new pricing's gonna be a game by game basis, like trying to justify. They.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna add stuff just to justify the $80. They're not. It's not gonna be the other way around.
Right.
This
I mean,
is Nintendo.
that's part of my video. Is $80 is some bullshit, but if it's gonna be a platform, and I'm not paying any more for the new shit coming,
Mhm.
then I'm fine with it. Then I'm okay.
That's what Kid.
Well,
Kid and
unfortunately,
Krista
though, we're
said.
not gonna know
either
that
way, you're
until,
not gonna
like-
pay more for it because it's gonna be on
But
the.
my
DLC.
problem is, I should know that up front. If I'm paying $80 for
That's what I
Mario
said,
Kart,
we don't know.
goddammit.
We're not gonna know probably.
I should know
But
that
he
up front.
did say, like, Doug Bowser said that they talked about the.
Oh
um,
yeah, Doug Bowser. Remember him?
Yeah. I forget the
Don't do
phrase
that.
he used, but basically the longevity of a title. So if you're
I
talking
love
about the
Douglas.
longevity, then you can't be adding paid DLC if the longevity is part
Right.
of the price. So
Right.
I would hope they're not going to do. But it doesn't
But then
sound
people
like
are
there's
just-
that many like straight tracks, just regular tracks in the game. Like 26, I thought I heard.
Mhm.
If that makes.
Well, I mean, but they also have
You
like
know they're gonna throw
whole,
classics in
whole-
there and all kinds of shit.
it's also a whole
I-
entire
they
open
better.
world.
Yeah.
Hey, here's that's what Robert just said. You have a whole open world. You can all get online and be like, okay, the goal is this spot on the
Mhm.
map,
Yeah.
and you just fucking race there. You know, you can make
Yeah.
any track you want.
You can make up your own track. Yeah.
Yeah. In the end of the day, like we all thought, at least I definitely, how do you go from 8 Deluxe with its 90 something tracks to go?
Yeah.
It's gonna be so tough, but at the same time, it's like, well, that's how you do it. You build
Yeah.
an open world.
And you combine Diddy Kong
Yeah,
and
literally, I mean, come on.
Sonic and Racing Transform. That's what you do.
See,
Put all
now
that
this
shit
is one to
together.
watch because this looks like a cool track, but is this one where the first 2 laps are getting there, the third lap's going to be the track, so you're only going to race one lap on the actual track, which is what I'm thinking. I actually,
Well,
Well,
I
I
agree.
agree.
Nice.
That's just for the.
You can
That's
probably
just
do
for
kinda
the
the
like
same
Grand
that.
thing you
Prix.
could do in 8 though. In Mario Kart 8, you could make your own Grand Prix by choosing the tracks you want. They
No,
probably
I
have all
think
those options.
this...
but I'm just paying attention. Like, does this look like, even though it's supposedly the in between, does this look like it? This looks more like a regular track than
Yeah,
the
this looks like a regular
first
track, right?
first
This
cup
is the
they
in
did.
between.
Yeah, this is the
This
in
is the
between.
in-between?
You
Oh,
can
no,
see
this kinda
because
looks like-
it's kind of, maybe you can't see in the middle between the 2 screens is the map. It's just a straight line.
Straight line,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really straight though.
I mean,
Like,
it's not.
literally.
It doesn't curve
it's
around.
Not. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
a. It's not a track.
It's not
This
a
is where you're
Ouroboros or
back
whatever.
around.
It doesn't-
Is this still the not the track though?
Yeah,
Like this.
Yeah, this
until
is not-
until
this
I
is
mean,
the-
come on.
until
that's
the
pretty
third
good.
The
lap.
third part is the track.
This
The
one
third
looks
part
more
the
like
track.
a track than the
It still
first
looks
one.
like a track. Yeah.
Yeah, this still looks like a track to me. I mean, you're really.
But
this
what
is
if the
like going
track's
down
like
DK,
super
Summit.
cool? I mean, I'd
This
still
is like going down DK Summit. When you're going down the hill.
because
like,
it looks
and-
like a
and going up
galaxy.
and down.
This is the galaxy
Oh my
looking.
god, the frame rate. What is this?
I was gonna say, is this
Switch
just like
online?
a slideshow to me, or
It's
No,
not on
mine
my
is
end.
slideshow.
It looks
Oh,
like
no,
they're
it's
playing
fine.
50
It's
cc
great.
though,
Up a little bit.
They probably are. I think it's 50 or 100.
so they haven't
this looks
entered the
great.
track
I
yet.
haven't even seen this though. This looks great.
No, I thought this
I
was the
think-
track right here.
So there was one thing that got added
It'll
to
be 3 of
to
3, I
this,
think.
as far as features, and I thought
This-
that was kind of cool is the fact that you can change the CC.
Okay, here it is.
That
This is the track.
necessarily doesn't change the hardness, you can or the
Now it's the track.
difficulty of the AI.
That's what she said.
Wait, hold on. The CC doesn't change the difficulty.
No, you can change
does
the
it do?
difficulty of
Just change the
CPU
speed.
without changing the speed.
Wait, what changes the difficulty?
How do you
then?
feel
just
about
put-
these items automatically
difficulty.
hanging
You can change
behind?
the difficulty under the CPU.
I'm fine with that.
I kind
Wait,
of,
what
I
did-
don't
what'd
like,
you say?
I don't like
Like
that.
when you're in
Most people, I don't know anyone who kept them in front of them.
Hey,
No,
yo, what kind of Rainbow Rose going on right this? What is this?
I mean,
I
held
like-
on to them,
I
so
I like
this-
the skill involved with having to hold the button and be
What do you mean?
strategic.
What are you talking about?
The item
yeah.
automatically-
automatically being behind you.
As soon as you get the item,
Got
it comes out and hangs out behind you. So
Got you. I don't love that actually, personally.
that's a change I didn't need.
Yeah,
See, look,
that was a skill
This looks like a
point. That
crazy
was-
good track. I'd love to do 3 laps on this, but I guess online, you know,
Wait, did you just
Then you can
kill
just
the
To be
obstacle?
fair, I'm sure you could. I would be stunned. If you
online
can't
better
just
be just the 3 laps on this track. Like to
Yeah,
me,
but I told you already. Like when you did online on Mario Kart 8, you could you can either or just play with friends. You know, you can either just do
With
a
friends
Grand
you
Prix,
could,
which is
yeah.
4 set
It looks like
stages, or
Zora's
select
Domain.
the
Is it me
stages.
or
Yeah.
does this shit look like Zora Domain?
No, but I'm sure it would be nuts that they have a Mario Kart where you can't do quick play and click an individual track.
I'm
and-
sure
and
time
play it.
trials will be just the track. I hope.
I also want to just say that I fucking hate
But
that
you
this
really
stage
wait.
is
So do
back.
you think you don't
This
you
is a
don't
retro
believe there
stage?
will be an option? There will be an
This
option to play.
is a retro
This is-
death
This was a
stage.
this
What
was
about
a
battle
tour
mode?
stage. The stupid not this one. Once you get to it,
What was
the
this from?
stupid ice cream. The stupid ice cream one. Like that's what they're heading to now.
Oh, that's right. This is.
Oh,
I do
this
like,
is
I do like that you can see it in the distance.
This
Those
looks
are
like a
really cool.
legit
Looks like a
track,
track.
though. This looks like a
This shit
track.
looks like a track. This shit looks like a track.
But the
man.
way they described it was definitely different than what
That's what I said. It still feels like tracks going from
Look
one
at
to the other.
But
I
if
honestly-
you do a times trial, do you think you do all this, or you just race the
I
track
don't think
3
so.
times?
I think there'll be actually. You know, I'll bet you there'll gonna be both. You could do the
Have they
full
shown
Grand
any
Prix-
battle mode?
No,
No,
they haven't even
Exactly,
talked
they're
about
gonna
it.
show battle mode.
remember we
next
have a
time.
direct, so like how much
No,
of
I'm,
this
I'm
we
not,
don't
I'm
know
not
about.
saying how
No, no,
dare
I'm
them.
just saying-
I'm just wondering.
No,
had
no,
they-
no,
no, I was just
had I missed it?
This is awesome.
No, you have.
Yeah, this looks like a track to me.
How's this not a track? This is a track.
I think it depends on. I think it depends on the
I think the
actual
first
map.
cup, I was just like, it was like in the city, and I
The
was
first
like,
cup is meant to be dead easy, and that might be
Look,
misleading.
They look amazing. Look at all the things in the.
The tracks are
It's
pretty.
the
I
thing
mean,
we
it's
al-
pretty
the
wide,
thing
so
that
it's
we
like.
always used to say in the past on that stupid ass baby park shit. When now you can see all the tracks everywhere in the distance and go everywhere and stuff.
So now we can like live our Ready Player One dreams out.
Do you
What if
know
I'm a
how
player?
many?
What if I'm a player two
So
ass
what
boy,
game
though, man?
is this a retro track from? Didn't you say it
Yeah,
was?
This is
from
from Mario
Tour.
Kart 8.
No, this is from
Well,
Tour. The stupid ass
technically,
ice cream.
didn't
Oh,
it
that's
come
a,
out-
I don't
didn't
think
it
that
come
counts as a
Mario Kart-
retro tag then, but yeah.
Didn't it come out to
Do you-
Mario Kart 8 though? Technically first.
Wait, why?
by-
I do remember.
This doesn't
that
look
part.
They
familiar.
put it on 8 first, but it's a tour track.
Oh, it's a tour track.
Wait a minute.
Why would
Yeah, it
that's
is
a
tour.
that's just why would you bring a
Why did he
tour
turn into a
track that's
charging
already on
shuttle?
Mario
I'm
Kart
confused.
What are you talking about?
Charging shut.
Yeah,
I didn't see
yeah.
it.
The Koopa on the left turned into a charging shuttle
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Turned into
That's
for
a,
when?
That's
One
a
of
power.
the-
I think it's a
Like
power.
a
Power.
minute, like a minute ago.
And then he
One
just
of the
went back?
weapons in the game.
Yeah,
one of
he
the new
turned back. I don't
weapons-
understand.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
very
power
confused by
up.
that.
Because
That's
one
a
of the
power
new
up?
weapons
Yeah.
in
Well,
the
they have
game is
Hammer Bros.
Kamek. Kamek is a new weapon in the game, and he magic shit around you.
Really?
It's probably
You know how
Yeah.
many- Do you know how
Oh,
many
this-
characters are in the game?
Isn't it like
Well, is it at least
80
24?
something or 70?
Yeah, there's 84 of them. But that I actually have a theory on why there's so many and why they're doing open roam is because you probably have to find those other characters around in the open
I could
world.
see that not being all
Ooh.
available
Oh,
at
yeah.
the start.
Recruit them or something, and maybe you got to race them.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're not all available.
Absolutely, they probably do something like that.
So this is going to be a full-on adventure game.
Yeah, you got to
Not
find
just
the penguin. You
It
got to
Forza
find.
the hell out of this.
You got to
man.
find the cow. You probably got to hit the cow or do something specific.
Mhm.
You got to milk them. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Man.
That's wild. What do you mean milk him, Robert?
I mean, grab the udders and
That's
put it on
sexual
your
Oh
assault.
cart,
my god.
Using the
That's sexual
Joy-Con 2
assault,
ride
controller.
around the cart, and
Use
you
the
drag
Joy-Con
Rob,
and
you're
do
going
the,
to jail, Robert. That's
do
crazy.
the 1-2 switch thing.
You got to call it the Joy-Con 2. So let me check the chat because I can't have
Oh,
the
do y'all
chat
like
up
the-
and the screen
Do
at
y'all
the
like
same time.
the new animation they did with the switches where now instead of it just being like this, it's like the consoles in the middle like
Snapping, yeah, like
yeah.
this. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
all
cool.
right, I see you,
Cool,
Nintendo.
it's cool.
Hey, you gotta be a little fancy.
Oh, you
with
can
it.
turn auto
Oh, that's
hold
clever.
on.
That's clever.
I like that.
Bro,
I even like the
this
Switch 2
game's gonna
like
be amazing.
detail.
commercial thing now does that, like an
Yeah.
angle snap. I like that aesthetic.
I will
This
say
game's
with
gonna
the-
be the
it-
second best game of the year.
This looks super clean too.
Wait,
Let's
what's
just
the first
say, like,
best
this
game?
game is this is
Fiction, man. I don't know if it's gonna top that.
to me this
Don't-
blows
it's gonna
Donkey
top
Kong
what?
out of the water from like a visuals, like as far as the cleanliness of
Oh,
the
okay.
visuals, like sharpness, the quality
Yeah, I
of
don't
the.
think Donkey Kong looks all that.
They went all in with the
visually.
destructible environments.
Yeah.
I think so. Here's some wave race action. Like, come
I think
on.
that's what
Look
fucked
at
up.
it.
Come
the frame-
on.
That's why people said that frame rate is unlocked. By the way,
I
Which
wish.
one?
Donkey Kong is not
Yeah.
locked frame rate.
I wish there
As
was
of
a
right
little
now.
more physics based. It was, to the water, but
I just saw like the camera going crazy because they were digging all in the.
Yeah, like
everything,
it's not like fucked up, but it's not locked 60. I'll just say
Yeah.
that.
I love how
mean, it's got
Nintendo
time,
got
it's got a little
Crackdown
bit
3
time.
before Crackdown 3 came
Don't
out.
do that. I know you're gonna do that.
Why you
You-
do that?
so
Why you gotta do
this
that?
is what the
Don't
actual
take your
track.
ass nowhere retro.
The
So
actual
look at
track
this
just
track.
started, so
This
I want to see
track
what
looks
this actual track looks
Go in the
like.
house.
Look at this. That's a lot going on here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
a lot.
looks awesome.
He keeps
That's
It's
why
not
I'm
being
hoping I could
wave
just
race.
race this track for 3 laps in like specifically.
You
Yeah,
can't.
If only
telling
it was
you,
wave race.
don't have to worry.
I would like
You don't
to.
have to worry.
I'd like to do it like
That'd
in
be
the Grand
See
Prix,
on the
but
map.
I want a video
it's
from
just-
Juice called "The Best Water in Video Games." That's what I want.
Hey,
I want
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
take. I want you to get a cup of water, and then I want you to put it next to a game, and I want you to
Did you-
review it off its realism.
Digital Foundry already did that, bro.
No, but I want.
What?
Oh, did they?
They did.
Mhm.
I
I
had
want
to
the
agree with
I want the
the-
loose juice touch though.
I
man.
remember it, but I don't remember the result.
This
Oh,
is
wait.
Wave Race was one of the
Wait,
best.
wait, wait.
I don't know- I
Juice,
don't
can
know
you can you
they,
do a
like,
reaction video and rate whether or not their water taste was up to par?
They just talked about the best water and effects in video games. I don't think they like rated
Is
them.
that not the-
who has
I want,
the
I
best.
want him to rate. I want him to
Hmm?
rate it, dog.
Is that not just the track?
But
Yeah, the third
yeah.
lap was just 1 lap around
shout
the
out,
track.
shout out to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance because I totally agree with that. Those are my favorite things in that game. On GameCube.
But that was the
especially.
track, right? That was Warrior
This
Shipyard
this was
and
a
just
track,
Warrior
yeah.
Shipyard?
hmm
Wait, so how they play that then?
What do you mean?
They said
With
this
their
is
with their hands, Robert.
Warrior Shipyard, right? Like no other track.
No, they drove.
not like-
There was the first 2 laps were just driving to it, and then the
You looking
third
good. You
the
look
third
good.
lap was just doing the
This-
1 lap around the
You
track.
talking about that map was just that shit looks that's
Like, look
so
at that. Look how
confusing.
beautiful that shit.
Did you? What
Wait,
are you
is that
talking about?
Like that. Oh wait, hold on. So this was all one
Look at
thing.
this shit. Oh, that shit looks
Oh,
good.
the
From here
cup?
to
Yeah, it
that,
was a whole-
from
yeah, it
here
was a
to
whole
the
cup.
shipyard was all one thing.
So the
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
pay attention here,
Yeah. So he goes next, and then it's a different.
No,
so
we're
you're on lap
leaving.
1 of 3.
No, when you start, I think lap.
Now
two,
you're on.
that's when
Let's
lap
go back
three.
to 2. Here's 2 of 3. This isn't the track. This is getting to
Wait,
the
lap
track.
one was. Wait, go back to lap one.
Lap 1 was you leaving, like you had just got on the ice.
No, he started in the cone area.
Okay, then the
No,
lap.
isn't that the ice right there at the beginning of the track though?
Yeah, that's the beginning of
This is the
track.
beginning right
So-
here. This is lap 1.
No.
That's lap one.
Wait.
This is lap 1,
And you're
Lap two,
leaving
you
the
only
place?
do 2 laps on the.
and then the
like,
third
new
lap is the
actual
track
area.
itself. I gotta.
So like when you leave this,
This is lap 1 of the next
So
next
this
race.
all the way. To the,
See,
onto
look,
the
there
shipyard.
we
That's
go.
that's what I said. That's why I was.
World.
I wish this didn't
Analytics.
count towards the race. Like, I mean, it's cool, but
No, I'm cool with it counting towards the race, but my thing is like I didn't know that's a long ass thing. But also just I mean to be fair, like I really believe that you're gonna have the option to just play the courses.
Of
you know?
course.
I would,
that
what in
sun
what
glare
is it like in
ridiculous.
time trials? I expect to, but I don't know about.
no, but also just in multiplayer. You'll be
Yeah,
able,
I think
you'll be able to play
I think you
multiplayer.
might
But a
be able to
multi-mod
play
player,
multiplayer.
man. What the fuck?
I feel like
So bizarre that they'd only let you play.
Avatar.
That,
I think
I
they're
thought it was
doing
bizarre
that.
that this counts as
you
lap 1
spend-
and 2. To be honest.
Yeah, that's what it
I
is.
think-
but not
I
in
think
this
that's
type of
really
game.
this
is cool
Not
as
in
hell.
this
It's
type
a Grand Prix
Look at
mode.
what the game this is. Like it's a completely different thing.
Yeah,
I
because
think
now you are now able to get on the open seas, and then that's when the storm.
Yeah, I mean,
hits.
this section looks cool. I just think it's weird to count it as laps towards the actual.
I
Track.
understand.
Like
but
Rainbow
think how
Road.
long-
Like Rainbow
You're telling
Road.
me- you're
Like
telling me we gotta
Rainbow
do that,
Road.
And then we gotta race the same track multiple times. This shit's so
I
long.
think I think it's going
No,
to
no,
be.
no. They're gonna
There's going to be a
cut.
classic mode. I think
There's
there's
gonna
going to
be
be a whole
sections,
classic mode.
just
No,
like
no,
Rainbow
this is
Road. There's
no,
sections.
no, but this is for Grand Prix. So that's I think Juice, you want your Grand Prix to have the
Grand
You want to pee in your Grand Prix? That's crazy.
you want it original.
I wonder what they would call it, because maybe classic Grand Prix.
Again, what I said.
Yeah.
No,
before,
they're not
Mario
gonna have
Kart
that, Juice. I'm
8
gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
Mario
retro.
They
That
will
was
have
one
a
mode
multiplayer.
online with your friends, though. It wasn't like.
No, but I
Mario
think
Kart
they'll
8
have
had the
I think they'll
original
have-
Grand Prix mode, which was set 4 tracks, or you could literally mix and match to make your own Grand Prix. Of course, this game is going to do the same.
But that
thing,
was
where you
just
can have
online with
Grand
friends. That
Prix.
wasn't just booting up the game and choosing Grand Prix, like that.
Well, that's his thing. Okay, so like Juice, unfortunately, your Grand Prix is not gonna exist in that case, but you will be able to play like multiplayer as a group.
I'm thinking
this
I'm thinking the main online will be just the track, but you never know. It could be this. It could
I think it'll be both. I think it'll be both. I think you'll have both.
because they've obviously put a lot of effort into making the getting to
absolutely
the
gonna be
track,
both.
quote unquote, feel like a track. So I think that's
like
gonna
I
be.
honestly don't know what's the track. Like, do you see how confused I am? This
But
whole
now
game?
you can look at the
You're right,
map, and now you can see that they're on the track, and now it's over.
I know, but like that other map, you could say that was fucking Mount
Yeah,
Wario.
yeah.
literally
I guess
going
that's the
straight-
thing. You guys, I probably didn't say that. I don't like tracks that just start from A and end at B. I like
I
actual
love those.
looping around tracks.
Okay, that makes sense. You like circuits.
I
like circuits.
I love those because you can do stuff with those tracks that you can't normally do.
I'm
Yeah,
a circuit
that's
guy. I
cool.
never really liked the one A to B. You don't go back. I don't hate
like
them, but they're
flying down Mount Wario and stuff.
So
is
you don't like
absolutely
any
amazing.
Rainbow Roads?
no Rainbow Roads are regular
There's a
tracks.
Rainbow Road that does
Yeah,
circuit.
pretty much all of them. Other than-
64
other than
Most of them
like-
don't.
Other than Mario Kart 8 had just you do one lap.
And
of,
Mario Kart 7 didn't either. Mario Kart 7 had the one long.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't really care for Mario Kart 7. I don't even remember that.
The Mario Kart 7
You
Rainbow
care for
Road.
one of the best Mario Kart games there is.
I got like
That was my-
I think I had 13 hours in it, if that.
You have an issue with handhelds, traditional.
Well,
I have,
imagine-
dude. I have
well,
almost
imagine-
more time in Animal
so
Crossing
Rainbow
New
Road
Leaf.
here?
Not is it New Leaf? Yeah. Than I did on Mario
Imagine
Kart
so
That's
Rainbow
on
7.
Road-
3DS.
The Rainbow
I
Road
know
That's
it's
not
in
saying
the
a
game,
lot.
but I
You-
love
you
that they have like
You think you're
achievements
saying
in
something?
Mario
You think you're
Kart.
cooking? You think you're
I'm
cooking?
saying
with
that I, who don't like Animal Crossing, have more time playing Animal Crossing New Leaf than Mario Kart 7. I just didn't.
So you got
That's crazy.
14 hours instead.
I'm
of
just
12?
saying it has nothing to do with my handheld. I played a ton of time in Mario Kart DS. That's my probably second favorite Mario Kart game.
I mean, this
There's
is
something about
this
7
game
just
is
didn't
gonna be
click.
phenomenal. This game is already a 10.
Although
out
we
of
didn't
10.
even mention so much stuff, man, like rail grinding, wall jumping, like all that stuff.
You're just going anywhere, man. This guy's just roaming around. He's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna
You
go
can spend the whole
around.
podcast talking about this goddamn game.
And we'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll talk more. We got the direct coming up.
Now let's talk about the bad. What, $80, bitch? What?
What is that? Wait, what
I'm
is that?
surprised. I'm surprised we haven't even talked about. We
That
haven't
was
even talked
intentional.
about Dust Bloods.
I-
Oh, you mean that
honestly,
game?
Like somebody who
What
said
is there
that.
to say? We don't
Who
even
said
know
that
what's
that was
on
going
in
for
that
the
game
jugular? Somebody's reaction. That Nintendo just went for the jugular with that one. I don't remember who said that, but I thought it was funny. I was like pumped, but then I found out it's a PvP
Multiplayer.
game, and I'm like,
I think there's still going to be
I mean,
single
bro,
player.
that's
in it.
literally what Elden Ring technically also is. They can count that
Yeah.
as
No,
multiplayer and
no,
PvP. They can
no,
count
no.
it as all that stuff.
no.
You can say no. People say that's a multiplayer game. I don't think.
Do
that's
you
a
know
multiplayer
what it
Yeah, but not in
takes?
that way, not in that way.
Have you ever played multiplayer Elden Ring? You know what pain in the ass hoops you got to jump through just to get in the same lobby as
That's why
somebody?
I'm saying wouldn't even call it
And you
multiplayer.
can't go into a cave. As soon as you go into a cave, you disconnect. If you're in a cave multiplayer, as soon as you leave the cave, you disconnect. You have to keep reconnecting using these summons, and you have to be in the same spot. It's not a multiplayer game.
Well, maybe they got it right this time.
But
with the multiplayer.
Yeah, but
This-
that's what I'm
Right.
saying. It's technically not a multiplayer
this
game.
new
so
game
we
is
said
a
that this
multiplayer
needs to be
game.
multiplayer.
It's a PvP group up,
PvPE. PvPVE. That's
whatever.
that's why-
You group up, you
that's
go
why
fight
I'm
bosses.
sick of I'm sick of
The
everything
fact
that just
that there's
happened there.
environment, the
That
fact that
angered
there's
me.
environment aspect to
The
it.
PCP.
I think, I definitely think that there's
Angel
gonna be-
dust.
It looks
That's
cool.
it.
I will say
Yeah.
it.
Pipe.
It looks cool, but I have no interest in.
Braid.
I just want to play. I want to search the world, fight the enemies, fight the bosses. I don't Like From
You
Software,
have to
that's what.
literally confirm that you can't do
I
that.
bet you, Juice, if the game is good and we end up getting it and it ends up being a great co-op game, potentially.
As long as if I can go solo and just enjoy the game, that'd be one thing. But it doesn't sound like that's what they're striving for.
I
I don't think so
mean,
either. But the whole idea
you
is you're
probably
still
got
going.
away
with it.
know that though.
As long as the game comes with a Pony Tears mug.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. My favorite thing about it is the Bayonetta 2
like it's
salt
still-
that's back, man.
I can sip
That's
on my
why.
Pony
That's a
Tears
little
when
bit more
playing
why
the
I'm
game.
disappointed. If it was like just like a Bloodborne, just like From Software's
Yeah.
next single player game, that would have been
Yeah.
the
You're
ultimate.
like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's
No,
not.
I
that,
agree.
so. Although
Yeah,
they're
I
still
agree.
mad about it. They're still mad.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so. You know what's so funny? Is that Nintendo is publishing the game outside of Japan, and those
Yeah.
same people who were talking about it being crappy and this is trash, this is some software trash, blah 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 blah. Now
Right.
they're like, oh, it's
Oh.
so it's not.
Oh,
It's, a time
It's
taker
not
exclusive.
Nintendo's. Can I get that now, please? Like, oh, you got some frauds.
I wonder if we're gonna get Night Rain or whatever it's called. The
I'd be
Elden
stunned if
Ring.
you don't. I feel like you got
So
it.
that-
You
you-
have to.
It'd be,
Although it would be like 3 From Software games in 1 year on the platform. It'd be a
well,
little bit.
it's 2026 for the Dust Blood.
I mean, Bethesda did
Within
it.
1 year. Though,
Yeah,
like,
within a
unless it comes
12-month
out
span, yeah.
within
In a
12
year,
months.
It'd be a little
man.
redundant if
Jeez.
there's both, like, I don't know exactly what Night
Yeah,
Rain is.
Elden Ring, Night Rain. What is it called?
But didn't Bethesda do it with Skyrim and Wolfenstein? and
English
Doom?
failed you like crazy
Yeah.
on that one, Robert. God damn.
Twist out.
Well, we better
Rob
talk
was
about
fighting for
some of
his
the other
life.
games. They did a sizzle reel. Any third party thing anybody want to talk about? Well, before we talk about,
Like rain.
I was a little
Was
surprised. We
there
were watching
anything
the direct.
surprising?
We're like, wait, there's only 10 minutes left. They haven't shown us another Nintendo game, like Nintendo developed. And
Kirby Air Riders in, and you're like, yo, Kirby Air Riders.
there's only one reaction I watched.
Daddy Sakurai get to do what he want to do again, man. It's crazy.
Mhm.
There was one reaction where I actually felt the person's excitement for Kirby Air Riders was probably genuine. I feel like most of the other people probably
I'm
didn't
so
play
excited
Kirby Air
for that,
Ride.
man.
I don't know anything
Like,
about
I
it.
bought the game back in the day, and I wasn't.
Is it
overly
truly a
impressed with it.
one-button
Apparently,
game?
A lot of people love it.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
original game is a one-button game.
Is it like a
Yeah.
rhythm
Well,
game?
yeah,
What is
move
it?
That's what I'm
Mostly,
wondering
though.
if they. I'm
It's a
wondering
racer.
if
What do
they're
you
gonna
mean?
do
Racing
that
game.
again.
I mean,
Well,
like-
it's because certain cars work differently in Kirby Air Ride. Some of them you hold the button, some of them you charge it, you let go, and you recharge it, you let go,
You have to
depending on the
recharge it.
vehicle you use. And like they have
Yeah, I mean,
different types
I've
of
played it for
vehicles.
like
So it's like
10
a
minutes.
I mean,
I'm not overly impressed. I was never overly impressed with that. I bought it, bought
I
the.
always loved it, man, and I always hope that city trial stuff that they would make something like
does
that.
it make sense to
online,
put
like
it out the same year as a Mario? Is it a racing game?
Yeah,
It's
it's a
a
racing
racing
game.
game.
Wait, you've never seen
I've never
Kirby
played
Air
it.
Ride footage?
I'm
No,
looking
I mean
at it
you
right
haven't seen
now.
footage of it though.
Oh, the original the main game mode
It's a
is
racing
a
game.
normal racing game.
Yeah, baby
and you have
game,
like
man.
you have the city trial mode where you're free
It's a
roaming.
tinky winky game.
And
Yeah,
the
tinky
free
winky
roam-
one button game, man.
It's like
Well,
a
so
battle
the free
mode.
roaming thing, the way it works is you upgrade your car and you can upgrade whatever section you want by going free roaming and stuff. And then once that's over, you get like a mini game version. So that's the second game mode.
Just,
Yeah.
I mean, I see
That's
people
what
get
I'm
excited for it. Where I'm
I'm
like, I
excited.
don't know.
Yeah, I
man,
bought
I'm not
the
really
what was it, the yellow label one, the what is it, not Player's Choice, what was
Did
the GameCube
Sakurai
called?
make this one too?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if they're gonna keep it a single button game. I'm curious if he's gonna keep doing that.
So what is
Of course
this?
they
one?
will,
Just-
because it's tinky winky.
That's the city trial.
Jesus Christ.
And they didn't
Hey,
show
it ain't
any.
gonna
They
make
had
it
no
too
footage to
complicated.
show, which is surprising if it's coming out this year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
that
out this
was-
year.
honestly, it should be delayed. Honestly, that shouldn't be a this year thing.
Honestly,
Wait, you don't even
But with
know?
Mario Kart, it does seem a little like they could have chose something.
Yeah, it seems weird to put this
Or
out in the
different.
same year as Mario Kart to me, because it's still the
Just
same
put this shit
genre.
on, put it out on GameCube, the original one.
Yeah.
The GameCube.
That's
We
crazy.
didn't talk.
That's all you gotta do. Put it online on there. Nobody don't want that game.
Who's-
And
I'm
nobody talk
excited
about
for
this
it.
game.
Absolutely. I'm
It's
I've
excited.
seen some
for
people
retro.
excited, and one of the
Yeah, of
retro,
course. A tiny, minute number
You
of
saw
people.
one person. What the fuck
Yeah,
is that supposed to
well,
mean?
Hey
Could be
man,
alright.
So
don't
raise
think
your
so.
hand right now if you think Smash Brothers Melee will ever hit the Switch Online
I
No,
think so.
No,
At some
because the
point,
original never
absolutely.
No.
did.
Oh wait,
Man,
I think it actually
that
will.
needs to
and my
happen because
re-
that should have happened back in
They're
the
not
day.
gonna do it.
no.
They're not
They're
gonna.
not
I
gonna
do
do
think
it.
it
it's
though. No,
gonna
no.
happen,
They're not
and the
gonna do
Because the
it.
reason
fans
is
be
I don't
happy
think
we
we'll,
can't have that. in our
Retro,
house.
go ahead, Retro.
I don't think we'll see a main Smash in another fucking 10 years, man. We're not gonna see Smash for a while, so I
Wait,
think
wait,
they'll
wait.
put Melee up.
Look at look
Wait,
at look at this.
We gotta
Look at
write
his
it down,
face.
Robert. Write it
Robert,
down.
don't do it. Robert,
Wait,
listen,
wait.
listen, Robert, listen, listen.
Clip
listen,
it.
listen.
Clip
Chill
that.
out.
April
Did he just
2025.
say that?
Retro
Don't do it.
said
Don't do
what?
it. Don't do it.
10
Chill out,
years.
listen.
You're saying?
I want you to
He
understand
said
something, Robert.
April
This is something
7th.
important to remember, though. Retro's never right. Okay, just remember that. He's
Oh,
never
Every
right.
once in a while, you gotta give him some
No,
credit.
that once every
I've
5
been
years,
right,
it doesn't
man.
count.
Retro.
He was right. He was
I've
right
been
about
right.
Metroid for all the
No, he
wrong
wasn't.
reasons, but he was right.
No, he
So-
wasn't. We went back. I went back. He said 2019. He thinks it's gonna come out, and then when 2019 came around, he's like, "We're not."
Oh, you ain't gonna
it
see that
till
game for 20 years, man. But
He
It's called
said, he said,
Vintage
he said
history,
that
man.
he thinks Prime will come out before Pokemon. That's
Yeah,
what
but
happened.
Oh, I do kinda
smart,
remember
man.
that.
Yeah, but the last,
Damn,
the
he
last
kept
what, 5
receipts on
years
you,
or
dog.
something, I still
yeah,
Crazy.
but once they said they're restarting the development, he was like, 20 years. for that game, bro."
Let's take
That
this
was
moment to
Second, wait. Do it, Retro. You don't think that Smash, whatever the next Smash, won't come out until 2035?
I mean, I'm not gonna say literally 10 years on this one, but
I know it.
realistically,
See,
I
this
don't
is.
look. I don't. Okay, you want a
Stop
realistic
asking
number?
him questions, y'all. Y'all fucked up for this,
Realistic
bro.
number? I don't see Smash in the next fucking 5 years. Absolutely not. We're not
I
gonna
like
see
the
another Smash.
goalpost is
28
over
at the
here,
latest.
and we about to move that bitch.
Look, you know
over
why
here,
we're not-
okay?
5 years fine, but
Do
10.
you know why we're not? No, maybe even 10. I don't know, dude. We
You're not
all
gonna
know-
release
we
a
gotta
Smash
move
it.
back. Hold on.
The Switch.
Ah,
we
put that
all
goalpost
know.
back over here.
We all know Sakurai was already burned out on the previous fucking Smash. Then
No,
he
wait, wait.
Sakurai's
spilled it
always
ultimate.
burnt out.
Wait,
Then he
wait.
spilled it
He's
ultimate.
always burnt
Retro,
out.
Retro.
Everything,
Richard, how many years?
everything that is in Ultimate, with how big that fucking game is,
I just-
unless they do a full fucking reboot, you're not gonna see a new Smash
just-
in a while, man.
No. Oh, wow. Hold
Wow.
on.
Sakurai's
There we
always
go.
complaining about burnout because he wants to do every fucking thing in the game.
How long did it
himself.
take him to
How you
make
burn
Smash
out? You
Ultimate?
make one series your entire life. Can we get Kid Icarus back, ma? Over Kirby Air Riders?
I'm gonna ask. Now listen. Every time I ask Retro that question, if that post moves again, I'm gonna do it every fucking
The
time.
problem is, he's gonna say, see, I was right, because it happened
Wait,
within the
wait,
span
wait,
of 0
wait.
to 10 years.
Wait. Retro, how many years? I just want to clarify.
Do you think-
So I'm-
Decade.
No, I just want to clarify. Retro, I wanna
2029.
clarify.
2029.
No, I just want clarification. That's all I want. How many years before the next Smash Brothers?
Okay, well, let me say it like this then. I'm not
Yes.
sure we'll see a new Smash on the Switch too. I'll say it like that.
Oh, you
I'd say
tripping.
that's
So that's 8 years right
spicy.
there.
That's a
You
spicy
know what,
take.
though? I could understand that. I could understand that. That I could understand.
Why?
There might be an
How was that
ultimate,
the most understandable thing of
ultimate
everything?
Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and they just expand on that. They totally could, just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Because how do you go past Smash? So I can understand that, Retro, but I
How you
can't
beat-
understand
Everything else you said.
Robert, because you weren't there last time, I just even want to tell you, because I said the original Switch from the beginning could go 10 years. They confirmed Switch games for next year already. We're going into 9 years for the original Switch. I'm just
No,
gonna
no,
say
no,
it.
Now you're really one of the.
Here we
you-
go.
We agreed. No. That's not what we agreed on. That is not even remotely. We agreed that as in Switch goes on for 10 years, AK there would be no Switch 2. Like you don't.
No other
you don't
console out
conform.
at the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Don't
You
try to
just
pull
said
that
10
bullshit.
years.
I'll be
That
shocked.
happened before. That happened before with
But
other
the
consoles.
PlayStation 1 and 2 went 10 years. Nobody gave a shit by year 6 on either one of them consoles.
I'll be shocked
so
if
that-
Nintendo's still putting out Switch 1 games in 2027.
When
though.
has Nintendo ever done that?
They've
It's
never
never
had
stopped using
they've
the
never had like a
consequences.
they've never had like a true cross gen kind of count situation.
The NES went, NES went 8 years.
They did it with the handhelds.
Yeah, the handhelds did, but
If
I
you
just-
count 84, the NES went 9 years.
I just got to
So-
take this moment here because Retro and I made a bet like 3 years ago, and you're
For the
lucky I
goalpost
let you
move?
out of it because I
Damn.
won. I won it. It's Switch exclusive, And
There's 2 exclusives.
you were sure there was going to be another Mario Kart on the Switch 1.
Oh, there was gonna be another Mario Kart within.
That was
10
after it
years
hit
that
like
we had.
I think it was at like 30 million at that point. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, maybe.
Well, my whole reason for it is the
You were
Switch
wrong, though.
doesn't have a Mario Kart.
Yeah, and then
It
they
doesn't.
announced
Yeah.
that the tracks, and you're like, oh shit.
According to Nintendo, they have a Mario Kart.
They have a Mario Kart because they added all them extra tracks in, so that made them their own
To
Mario.
be fair, you got twice the games. So,
So
not
just
gonna
take all
really
the
know
money
that.
they made off Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the standard, then all the DLC money they made, and they follow that up with charging $80 for the next
$80
game.
for Mario Kart
That
World
is
Tour.
messed up.
I mean,
Arrogance.
Mario Kart World.
That is the arrogance that these game companies seem to keep falling into, no matter how many times they see themselves and other companies do it. Nintendo has already done this, and they're doing this shit again, where they got too arrogant, and somebody punched them in the mouth.
And the reasons
next
they
go-round.
gave is like you should have said nothing. Just don't even just say.
Don't even say anything.
And I truly
They're
believe.
gonna have to say something. They can't say no comment.
I truly
Surely
believe.
Nintendo usually doesn't say shit, and so
That
Yeah, but that'd be
I'm
really
surprised.
bad. It'd be even worse to say why are you
They were
open the
smart.
price?
I will
No
give them this.
comment.
The reason I gave the direct a 9.5 because they didn't give me all those little details. If they put all them details in that direct, it would have been so mired in annoyance. I would not have given anything close to a 9.5. So they were
Honestly, I
smart. They were
think-
smart enough to
like,
do that.
I think the whole like 450 for the Switch. I think when they were recording that, editing that, they weren't sure what they wanted to really price it at. They were probably balancing.
450 is completely fine. to
honestly,
me.
yeah, we
I
didn't
literally-
get to that. I think that
yeah.
justified itself by what it
Totally.
is.
Yeah.
Before we knew how powerful it was, I was like, really? They're only going to charge 50 more than the OLED? I don't see that. Like, I was even saying like 429 maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
So 450 did not surprise me at all.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
mad
a
at all
game
about
that
the
was like,
450.
whoa.
Definitely worth. To me, it's worth it. So
We even have when we did our reaction. When I was looking, I'm like, whoa! I was literally like, whoa! I'm like, look at this, guys! I'm like, Mario Kart
Remember we
World
kept
is gonna
saying-
be $80.
yeah,
And we're
that's
like, what?
crazy.
Then I kept saying though that this thing's not gonna be. Did I can't remember if I was saying that in the reaction. Where I was like, this thing ain't gonna be 400. I think I said a couple
Yeah,
times.
no, you kept. Yeah, I was like, this
Yeah,
definitely. isn't
you
400.
said it.
It says
the
500, it's
second
gonna be
the
500.
4K 120 FPS drop.
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
thing.
I didn't think they would go all the way to 5, so it makes sense. It was 449.
And then they had
Yeah,
the
you're like, they're gonna be
the
500.
dock has a fan in it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
the dock's now 150 by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think honestly, they couldn't have gone any lower. They weren't.
Yeah.
Apparently, they had they switched to Vietnam to like trying to avoid tariffs. Somebody said, I don't know if that was true.
And then Vietnam.
And
got
then
hit
the
with tariffs.
Vietnam- hopefully Hopefully,
So-
Vietnam is just gonna make a deal, not.
I
fight
heard
back,
recently.
but-
I heard
Talk about
recently
making
that.
a deal.
I was say I heard recently. I thought it was they rescinded the ones on Vietnam and Korea.
No,
or
they're
something.
they're in talking right
In
now.
Japan,
Oh, they're
Ain't no
talking.
way.
They're
Ain't no
talking.
way.
Thank God.
It's one person is doing all
Yeah,
this
yeah, it's
dumb
one
shit.
person. Yeah, it's
Ain't
one
no
person talking.
way. And
But,
everybody else who's going along with it are just too scared to say this is stupid as shit. That's
I
all.
will
that-
say
I have-
one thing about the pricing of it. The Nintendo Switch originally, when it released, I was living in France at that point, and people were complaining that it was too expensive for a while. And they actually, at least in France, had a price drop by like 30 or 50 bucks on the original Switch, like in the first month of when it was out. So you could see something.
They definitely didn't do that anywhere.
Not in the
Cool.
U.S.
They didn't do it anywhere else. It was on my knowledge.
Switch, you're saying, oh well, don't get too caught up in the price. Don't worry about it. A situation could happen where it's like the 3DS. I'm like, bitch.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
what happened.
3DS was a
How did
very
people-
unique situation. It was very unique. The market was in dire straits,
Yeah.
and the system just wasn't selling.
It would have to be
That's
pretty
not gonna happen with Switch
abysmal
2.
launch.
It has to be pretty abysmal.
But if you looked
and
at
I don't
that,
see happening.
saw everything it can do, realize that it was a true generational leap, and you look at any of the other handhelds, PC handhelds, like how could you 400 maybe at the lowest, but
Steam Deck is $400 with a pretty bad LCD screen on it. Like it's pretty.
It's
at
basically-
this point, it's pretty mid.
it's the Asus ROG Allied with a bigger, I think it's a bigger screen and a dock that you can hook it up to your TV for $200 less or something.
No, the Ally still has the bigger screen. I think Ally's 8.2 or some.
No, really? I've seen
It's
one in
pretty
person.
big.
It looks like the OLED size. To me.
You've seen mine. Oh no, I'm thinking Legion Go. Sorry,
Yeah,
Legion Go.
the ROG
Sorry.
Ally is 7-inch and doesn't come with
Yeah.
a dock.
I was gonna say Legion Go has the biggest.
Doesn't have
screen,
detachable controllers, and it's like $250
Right.
more. So it's like anybody who's trying to say that price is unjustified. And then the Japan only
Wholesale
one,
price is
it's like
absolutely
literally
insane.
locked down. Only Japanese language.
Yeah, that's
Reach-
unfortunate, man.
But that's just one. They
Yeah.
have a regular option. That's
Oh, who's
You
gonna
know why
buy
they're
that?
doing that though?
Who's
Because
gonna
they don't
buy
want
that,
people trying to get around the
Yeah.
I think they're
the
just trying
tariffs
to
and
help sales in Japan, maybe.
I'm
But-
just
Yeah,
scared
but
that
it
they're gonna
just
do
sucks
that
because,
stuff with
like,
the games
think
too,
about
man.
like the online servers years from now. Like, it's gonna suck that it's region locked. We're not gonna be able to play with those guys very likely. So it's like,
That's
and I
okay. They
guess-
always cheat in Mario Kart anyway.
Why would
They
go
always
back to
they always have a
regional?
connection advantage.
damn.
see- Like you shoot a red shell and it's like following them for half a lap and then never hits them. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I be playing Splatoon, 3, and there's a bunch of Japanese players. It helps me out, especially
Yeah.
as I play later.
So you're riding their victory and stuff. You're just like mooching along.
Also,
No. Even if I lose, I'm just saying, like,
Some of
it's
the most
good to
fun I ever
play.
had on Metro Prime Hunters online was those Japanese people
God.
just floating across the screen.
and the also the
Why are you doing
loading
that shit?
the loading time in Breath of the Wild, the difference is pretty significant, and that's a game
yeah.
that wasn't built
Yeah,
from the ground up.
The
So
comparison was
you got
pretty impressive.
faster storage now. The SD card expresses are still quite a bit. They're not that common, so they're a little pricey.
It's like the magical PS5 SSD. Yo.
Like the 256 gig SD micro S Express is like 60-70. Like a 2 gig is like $200, so they're not cheap.
Oh, really?
But we'll have to see. Mario Kart's like 26 gigs or something. I think I remember. It's the
Yes,
biggest
something
game
like that.
Nintendo's
Yeah,
ever
something like
at this point. It's the biggest Nintendo game file size.
Yeah,
Sony.
Something's
Put Astro
11.
Bot on Switch 2. Put it on Switch 2.
Yeah.
Do it. You
Um,
want that business to sell? Put it on there.
the third party's like I said earlier. I don't. Sandstorm dropped out a while ago, I guess, because he was like posting about how he heard Elden Ring. It was like a cinematic comparison with the cinematic. Like, that could be pre-rendered. Look at the actual footage. It's not.
Right.
It's not looking that good. I mean, it looks all right, but it's pretty choppy.
I've seen it. I don't know about pretty chat. I'm
Dude,
sure, like,
and
when
that,
we see
it
it's
could be
gonna
the
fine.
footage. It could be the way they captured it. It's pretty stuttery.
I have no doubt
It's-
that
I think
I
that
think
might
it's
be
just
an
the
Elden
footage.
Ring problem, though.
Elden Ring has issues on every device,
Right.
so
Right.
I don't expect that to
But
run
that's what I'm
very
saying.
well.
Like, I mean, look at like, again, Cyberpunk and stuff. Like, it ran smooth. Like, I don't know. I think
I expect Elden Ring to be a issue with performance.
Only try Link. I can't.
But then maybe it is Elden
can't
Ring.
deny what you're saying there.
Even on PS5,
Good
it's
point.
not consistent.
That's what I'm saying exactly. So maybe it's it's more from software than.
I would be
the hardware.
surprised if it's.
I don't know if any of Front Software's games are locked consistently because I don't think
But
Bloodborne
I
is
will
locked.
say, because we talked about Iwata earlier. Yeah, remember that stuff happened under Iwata. The price drops and the ambassador program and
Mhm.
all that shit.
Mhm.
You ain't gonna see none of that shit. You
Yeah.
can forget about it. You ain't seeing none of that shit anymore.
I mean, it'd have to, like, unless it like flop, like literally, like no one bought it. Like,
If it did that, look, I mean,
you don't
I
think
don't
so?
I don't
Let's
think
say
they're
literally-
It
gonna
launched
drop
as
the
a
price
Mario
by
Kart,
$70
man.
and shit like that. They ain't doing that kind of shit.
There's
I
a
mean, I don't
reason
know
it
if it
launched
was
as a
literally
Mario
0
Kart.
copies sold.
Well, that's not gonna happen. I mean, that's just
I know.
I am
but-
disappointed.
Here's the
though.
question.
the
Here's the
scalpers gonna
question.
buy at least 1 million of them.
Yeah,
Here's the
it's true.
question. First month, how many?
Worldwide,
This console?
I'll say 5 million.
Switch 2. Switch 2, I'm thinking.
5 million? What was the Switch One's first month though?
Wasn't it like,
I gotta compare.
3.
was it 3? I thought that was
I
just
feel like it was
Zelda.
less.
I think Nintendo has manufactured a ton of these things. I think
That's
that-
I'm
true.
gonna-
They did. They did. Yeah, so
I'm gambling. I'm going to say 10.
I was gonna
Switch One
dude,
first.
shut the fuck up.
Wow, 10.
I'm going to be
10 million?
reckless.
And how
Oh, so
many?
Switch
First
sold
month
around
you said, or 2 months?
2.74 in its
I said first month. I said first month.
10 would be crazy.
I'm being reckless.
I'm
I'm
gonna
being,
say
I'm being,
10 as well
That is
because it
reckless.
launches with Mario Kart, man.
I'm being mad reckless. Don't
That
get it twisted. I'm
price,
being
though,
mad
could-
reckless.
It does launch with Mario Kart, but Mario Kart is $80 goddamn.
No,
Why
yeah,
even
but-
not-
But the
Why even
bundles-
have one
A lot of
without
people
Mario
might buy
Kart?
it
They gonna kill for them bundles. I already know what's up.
Why even have one
lot of
without
people-
Mario Kart? Like, I don't
Because
want
some people don't want to.
I ain't pre-ordering
want
it if I
Mario Kart,
can't
man.
get the Mario Kart bundle.
I would probably get the one without Mario Kart because I'm the asshole who's gonna buy it.
Yeah, not
physical.
everybody's a Mario
Yeah,
Kart
you
fan,
want it
even though it looks
physically.
like it.
I'm
Even
gonna
though
get
it looks
physical.
like everybody's a Mario
I ain't
Kart.
paying
What-
$80
I
for
don't,
it.
think I don't think everyone's a Mario Kart, but you probably got someone in your family who will fuck
Yeah.
with some Mario
And
Kart.
what else are you buying on launch day for Switch 2? What else you buying?
I still think it's a
you
stronger
get-
lineup than the first.
You
than
get
the
Cyberpunk. You get Street
I'm
Fighter.
not hating on the launch. I'm saying
I ain't buying
Fast
shit.
Fusion?
Fast
Fast
Fusion.
Fusion.
For a casual, the
Hold on.
only
Are you buying a Switch 2 to play Cyberpunk 2077? I don't think
No.
you are.
I'm just saying, man. Donkey Kong comes out like a couple weeks after.
Literally a month, not
no,
a
it's
couple
a
months.
month. Don't
months.
do
Literally-
that. It's a
literally-
month. We're not gonna do a couple weeks. You think
I
in
got
2
5
weeks?
weeks.
Fucking 2 weeks. Here comes DK.
It's five,
Good luck.
5 or 6 weeks.
It's
like-
like a month. It's like a month
It's
and
a
a
month
in a
right
week.
after,
you,
which
man.
is amazing, which is great. Like that's
No,
actually
it's great.
Honestly,
It absolutely
okay,
is
let's finish it up by of the games they showed, and I thought Metro Prime 4 should have been showcased more as like a Switch 2 game because that looks so freaking
Right.
good in that treehouse.
It did.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, it's Mario Kart, it's Metroid Prime 4, and Age of Imprisonment.
And don't
Oh, you talking about?
No,
You talking about this
First
yeah,
year?
right now those are I only have those 3 games as must-haves.
Those are must-haves.
I need to see
must-buy.
more from Donkey Kong.
that's crazy.
I was
What?
I was
That's kinda
literally
wild.
bored watching
Listen.
that treehouse footage of them
Oh,
play.
That's crazy.
I'm so Donkey Kong because I know I'm just gonna try to destroy the entire
Like,
Oh, absolutely.
everything.
Is that
I'm waiting
the
for
is
yeah,
that
I'm
the
waiting for
only?
YouTube video?
I
I'm
need
waiting
to
for
see
YouTube
some more
video.
creativity than just digging. Oh, I found a cave now with a banana. Like I want to see some. I need that 3D
Wow.
World second trailer. That Mario Kart 8 second trailer.
That's disrespectful.
That already looks more.
I'm not-
creative than
Wait,
Breath of the
no.
Wild.
Face alone, man, is an
That looks
instant
great.
vibe.
Well,
I'm
Absolutely.
watching them just
I've
punch
been
through
30
everything.
goddamn
Just
years for a 3D Donkey Kong. Ain't no way in hell. I don't need to see anything else. I saw him running through a field in
Yeah.
3D. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
if
Oh,
what
why
they
don't you just
showed
say-
is what the game is,
question.
I'm not buying it.
Did
If
y'all
it's-
see that leaked image with a certain character on the cover? Yeah.
yeah.
I did, but
Some people were trying to be discreet about it, and some people put the fucking thing in their thumbnail.
Yeah.
It was so disrespectful. It was so
Game
fucking disrespectful.
What the fuck?
Taking
They do
spoilers
not-
already, bro. It was
That's-
a goddamn.
Imagine
house,
being
man.
somebody in a chat just keep saying ridiculous things, hoping hoping somebody's gonna
I mean,
comment.
you did
I'm not gonna
respond to it,
comment,
so-
but I'm just gonna say it's just
You've acknowledged them. That was already
But
too
that-
much.
Muhammad
That
did
game-
when we were
that gameplay,
speculating.
The DK gameplay, it's so fast and smooth. Like T said, just smashing through
I
everything.
know, but
burning everything.
all I
I
see
don't
it
know
doing
if
is
it's
just
smooth,
punching,
but it-
like punching everything. I need
You-
to.
it's like SteamWorld
Absolutely.
Dig.
I'm a big ass monkey. What am I supposed
on
to do?
what planet you think that's the game? Like come on, man. Come
It's
on.
open exploration, man.
Yeah, just.
Alex,
it
I'm
didn't-
gonna. I'm
They even
trying to
got.
destroy
They even.
the
They even
entire
show that
world.
there's like different tiers of rock and
What-
granite
Yeah.
and shit that you can pick up.
That at the end
Right.
of the day, you're just destroying the environment.
When I'm
Like,
done,
I
there will
want to
be
see
no
them
more
come up.
crap.
If it's a 3D
Xbox
Mario
are
team,
dying over it,
I'm not
man.
saying I don't think that they're going to be. I'm saying based on
I think that's
what
you're
I'm
implying,
seeing,
man.
what I've
Is
seen
that tr-
isn't enough for me to say yeah, I'm buying the game. But
Is
it's,
that
if
true?
it's true, if it's the 3D Mario team, which they haven't confirmed, they won't even confirm
They
it.
haven't
I'm pretty.
confirmed
It's
I don't know
using.
what
platform.
It's definitely using.
There's no
Odyssey's
way
engine.
there's not going to be some crazy creative
Is
stuff
it?
later in the game. If it's
You can
them.
tell looking at it's using an engine similar to Odyssey.
How happy this monkey looks, man. That alone is an instant buy. Come
I
on.
feel like it's
also
gotta
I
be
hate the way
Odyssey.
the
Not
chimps
people
look.
like. Not everybody like happy monkeys.
I think the
okay?
chimps look absolutely
You're in America
horrendous in the world.
What?
The design of the chimps looks horrendous. Kong looks awesome. I hate the chimps.
Shut the fuck up, man.
But
You hate
Cranky- no,
chimps.
no,
Cranky
Hey,
looked
yo.
alright. Cranky
Robert's
looks
gonna be
alright.
Cranky looks like
Robert's gonna be
retro,
clipping
like,
this in 10
Yeah,
years.
Cranky looks like the retro version of Cranky.
which is weird. That they didn't.
No,
redesign
Cranky's in the game.
Yeah.
We've already seen Cranky.
Oh, yeah, but
Robert's
he
gonna
looks like
clip- he's
Retro
gonna clip
Studios,
this.
sort of, like,
Robert's gonna clip this
Or
in
rare.
10 years
Yeah.
and entitle it Juice hates the chimps.
Not a fan of the design, but like I said,
Why? What's wrong with the chips, man?
they just look off to me. They don't look fit.
They
They
look-
don't look like they fit with
They look
DK.
crackheaded, right?
because they're not the same kind of monkey.
It looks
What
like
about
it's
the
from two
woman?
different.
Diddy Kong has
Woman
always
Kong.
been
You
a
can call it a
chimp.
gorilla and they're chimpanzees.
What?
What you want, bro?
It doesn't have
What
any of
about
that
the
same
woman
Diddy Kong has
style,
always
that
been a
that
chimp.
charm.
What is this?
Well, go get those
What?
guys from London. and they
Anyway,
can
this is
work
gonna
on
be
the game.
mute. The
Fuck.
next trailer we see is gonna, for me, it's probably gonna look amazing, and they're gonna show all this creative, crazy stuff later in
I
the
don't
game.
know, Juice.
I'm getting clocked Streets of Rage 4 vibes from you right now.
Oh no, that's crazy.
But you
Yeah,
clocky?
hopefully,
But
right?
listen,
If all it is
Tom
punching through the
Cotton,
ground and
bring 'em
picking up stuff and destroying it, I'm not in. I'm out.
You must not like beat 'em ups
Yeah.
either.
I don't.
Your
He
hands
gonna
on
play
things.
I don't-
3
I don't
games
love
all
beat 'em
year
ups.
for a Switch too.
Yeah, that's probably why.
I'll
I
be,
love
no,
beat 'em
I'll,
ups.
I'll be replaying.
I'll
like
put my hands on something.
Minecraft. No,
I'll be replaying
Don't
Breath
do
of the
that.
Wild.
Don't do that.
more Minecraft than a beat 'em up.
Didn't you
So,
see the Donkey Kong Country
No,
level?
man, come on.
The
I'm
side,
beating
like
you up.
Robert heard me. The side scrolling in that trailer, that side scrolling level, I wish the whole game was that.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
That looks so
Great.
good.
So you mean wait, let me get this straight. we've had these two amazing 2D Donkey Kongs, and everybody at grandma's like, do some more 3D stuff. If I do 3D stuff, man, I want to see that 2D stuff again.
Hey, I never
I've
asked
been
for.
waiting. I've been waiting 25 goddamn
I never
years,
played
bro.
You ain't
Donkey
gonna
Kong
take this away from
64.
me, man.
I never
You
played
don't take
Donkey
this
Kong
away from me,
64, and so I wasn't one of those dying for a 3D Donkey Kong.
To be fair, yeah. Donkey Kong 64 is not.
Love it, and we're gonna
I'm
be
sure
on
it's-
board.
No, I wouldn't tolerate no Donkey Kong 64 disrespect up in here. No.
Even
I will not tolerate that.
I just never played it.
30-something guy who never played the game just heard some bullshit on a fucking YouTube video narrative bullshit.
I think I did play
will
the.
not tolerate it.
Honestly,
I would
I
not-
played it at somewhere that
Tolerate
had
this.
demos.
Come on, DK. I will not tolerate no
Oh,
disrespect.
now see, how do you pull? Well, you're a fucking.
All I had to
wizard.
know was
Put
Rare
down.
made it, and I wasn't interested.
I will not tolerate.
You went into the fucking void and went, hey. So by
You
the
will
way,
not
this thing that I
disrespect.
shouldn't have in my hands that I have at close contact for 2 seconds.
Oh, this collectathon crime.
I didn't even know. I don't even know any of that.
Is Miyamoto in there? Can you pull Miyamoto out real quick?
It was right over here. Come on now.
Ah.
All I needed to see was Rareware made it, and that was all I needed to see.
Actually, there was no Miyamoto in this direct. I didn't
Right.
realize that.
You don't need Miyamoto in this
Yeah.
direct, okay?
We need Miyamoto.
You got
He was in the
Miyamoto in the
last-
last
They didn't have
direct.
Koizumi.
Exactly.
Movies.
Mind your
and
business.
parks.
Where was
Ain't got time.
He's
Koizumi?
working on the movie.
How come they
What
demoted
films?
Koizumi? He was the face of the Switch,
Yeah,
and they,
Koizumi.
We're gonna rotate out, guys.
I was expecting Koizumi at least. Damn, no Koizumi.
Listen, we gotta rotate the faces in and out, bro.
Just show
What
me, how
about
do you
Bill
literally
Trinen, man? They
watch
haven't seen
this
Bill
Donkey
Trinen
Kong
in a
trailer
direct.
and be like, this is garbage. Like, I'm not ready yet.
oh,
and
he's
this
gonna
is
quote
annoying.
me now wrong, saying it looks like garbage. It just,
Oh,
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen.
I just, speaking of 25 years, I gotta give a shout out to your boy Corey. He was in the Treehouse. I don't know if you know.
oh yeah,
I interviewed him. Yeah, I interviewed him at PAX East 2016 or some shit. This dude has been rocking with Nintendo for about 25 years because he was at the event, and it was like some kind of contest in 2001 for GameCube. It was like do something crazy to win a GameCube, and he wasn't working for Nintendo at that point. But they hired him after that shit. And so he's been with Nintendo since 2001, bro.
Oh, they hired him
So
after that?
shout outs. Yeah,
What
Corey,
about that-
shout outs to him.
yeah. What about the Nate guy is now like VP or something?
Crazy.
Him and Bill Trinen are like vice presidents or something at Nintendo.
Crazy.
Yeah, but I want Bill Trinen to be more in the damn direct.
I liked
That's
it.
something
Yeah,
you wanna
he
work
did
for
that
right
for a
there.
couple years, but I think he had bigger things in mind. Or
No, I'm sure. I think it's just Japan kind of started taking more over, and they're like, yeah, we don't need you, Bill.
Well, he got famous because he was.
don't need you, Bill.
he was a translator, and then he started getting him and Reggie started making appearances.
He was always one of my favorites,
Exactly.
man.
I
If
just
Reggie
remember
could
him
do it-
during the GameCube with Luigi's Mansion reveal and with Miyamoto. That's when I first remember Bill Trinen. So these guys been with him for a quarter of a century, bro. Until we were coming one place that long and still loving
That's
it. That's
crazy.
that's cool, bro.
It's interesting listening to Kit and Krista's insight. They obviously aren't
Mm.
there anymore, but they're like, they know
They
how
know.
everything goes. They're like, yeah, these answers
Mhm.
are all been pre-written,
Of course,
pre-approved.
that makes
He says they're probably panicking a little bit about some of the backlash for the pricing, but they're
sure,
not going to
yeah.
do anything at this point. But
No.
they were a little, you could tell that they were salty when they left. They didn't like that they shut down
yeah.
that facility and stuff.
Well, yeah, I
and
mean,
Well,
why
they had
wouldn't
the
you be
choice.
annoyed that you know?
They had
And
the
why
choice
did
they've
they?
done all
to
right
move,
though, and
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
I wonder
They're doing good.
they make more than they made before or less or what, but it'd be
I
interesting.
I mean, they
I doubt they're
have a
making the
pretty good
same.
Patreon, but I don't know if they
With
make
the
more.
Patreon and I think they're doing pretty well.
Sponsors
You got
and
the sponsors.
I mean I stopped
Sponsorships,
listening
yep.
for a while, but the Switch 2 coverage has been really
I
found
listen to
it-
all their podcasts actually. They're one
I
of the
found
few I
it
listen
really
to.
good.
Like,
Their
Yeah,
insight
me
and
too.
stuff. And
I like the podcast a lot.
They got great fucking chemistry, both of them. So
they don't like
Yeah, absolutely.
they're not big fans of this new pricing based on the individual game structure. It's like,
I mean, who would be like? What consumer would be like? You know what?
but like they said,
really
are they
think
gonna
so.
do the low end? Are they gonna do a $30-$40 like a WarioWare game because it's not the breadth of the?
Well, even there
big
was no
budget?
$30-$40 WarioWare game on Switch One either way. It was 50.
I know,
Both
but
of them.
they're
So,
saying if you're gonna go up
Yeah.
to 80 and say it's based
And
on
it's
all
only
these
60.
factors, then what if it's a low
Yeah.
budget, smaller title? Is it
Yeah.
gonna be 30,
Well,
40, 50, or is it
they
gonna be
putting out
30 is
$10
will be
applications
50.
that should be in the system. So who knows what they'll do?
I
Yeah.
honestly, I'm torn about because I think Mario Party, the new content looks like definitely worth DLC price, but
Yeah.
but that's for somebody who already bought the game. Hey, pay $20 and you get access to. I don't like that they're making sure the price is identical whether you buy a Switch 2 edition, whatever that means exactly, or if you already had the game and you're buying the DLC. They're making it very obvious they want those to be the same price. If you bought Kirby in the Forgotten Land for 60 back when it came out, you're paying 20 for this DLC. So what if I want to buy Kirby right now, a Switch 2 edition? Well, it's going to be 80 because 60 plus 20 equals 80. They're not going to give you any discount for buying the new thing like
Right.
together.
I mean, I
Um,
wish
And I
Bowser
love me
Fury
some
was 20
Kirby
when they
in the
launched
Forgotten
it.
Land.
I ain't paying $80 for Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and
Well, I don't have to because I already have the game. But do I want to pay $20 for DLC for Kirby?
it
game?
doesn't sound like from the
you know,
hands-on. The person was
Depends on what
saying
it, how,
that's a bit much.
a big fan of the game. I forget who it was. Said he played it and was like, doesn't seem like it's really.
Well, it seems
as much
alterations
content.
on the normal levels, really.
Yeah, it's an
That's all.
yeah,
alternation.
it's weird.
It doesn't. It feels like again, maybe they were working on that already, or well, we want to charge $20 for an upgrade. So let's make some content to make it worth the 20, like type of thing. And then there's free
Hey, like I
upgrades.
said before, man, $20. I would have paid that for Bowser's Fury happily, but
Yeah, by
that's
itself.
still not gonna happen.
But
But then there's free
Regardless-
upgrade games, and Arms is one of them.
Bowser's Fury.
It's like, what is Arms upgrade gonna be? You think 120 FPS mode?
That'd be kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Why did he even bother? I'm so
And it's
I'm
like-
so weirded out by.
Yeah. So if you don't pay the $10 for Breath of the Wild, do you just get a better frame rate?
Arms.
What was some of the other ones? Scarlet Violet. It'd be interesting to see what those free updates give you.
yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Somebody made the joke that you have to get the Switch Pro if you want to. If you ever want to see that game play like it's supposed to, you're gonna have to get the Switch Pro. They were almost right. You have to get
Yeah.
you have to get a
But you know
Switch
what?
2
Luckily,
to see
I
that
am
game
going to
play
be
the way
able
it's
to
supposed
play-
to.
I'm gonna play Scarlet and Violet on Switch 2 instead. In that case, might as well. And it's
Yes,
kind of
please.
like
And those are free updates ones, right? So that's
yeah,
probably
those
just
are free
Yeah,
updates,
those are
but
just
I
you just
think-
put in there and
I
it
think
works.
the only reason they're free is because the way the development was that it was just that it was targeting a certain frame rate and it's just going to bump up and lock at that point. I think that's
So
what
it's gonna go from 20 to 30. Is that...
30.
Absolutely, man. Locked in.
What do you
baby.
think of the Pokemon
Not
ZA?
30, I'm cool with it,
It just looks cleaner. That's
Well,
it.
that
And,
can't be
and it
true
runs
either, though.
better.
Well, that can't be true either though, because they also have one of the ones is New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe.
Yeah,
you
and
upgrade?
Wonder wasn't
That's
on there.
better.
It's probably 120 FPS.
That's weird.
But exactly. So,
And
so
if you
that's
don't have
why-
a TV, well, it's a free upgrade. So if you don't have the TV, you won't be able
it's
to
a
see
free
it.
upgrade. So it was that one. It was I think Mario Odyssey. It was Arms. It was Obviously Pokemon. Oh, Link's Awakening and
Yeah,
Echoes of
those
Wisdom
ones
will be great.
needed it because the dips
That's
are.
great, So that's cool. So that's why it's like, there will be moments where like I'll probably end up picking up like I actually don't have Kirby yet, but so when I eventually pick up
If
Kirby,
you can find
What?
Kirby for $40 and then 20, I don't know if it
Right,
doesn't
that's
sound like
exactly
the.
If you buy it used, you get it cheaper than that.
I'm gonna go on. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go on eBay, get it Kirby on there, and then
Probably get it for
it'll
30,
be
35,
it'll
probably.
be cheaper. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
And
wait,
I'll
yeah,
just
that's true. It doesn't even matter for Robert anyway, like the pricing and stuff, because by the time he
No.
picks up Mario Kart, it's gonna be a lot cheaper
Here we
anyway.
go.
not
See?
Mario Kart, not Mario Kart. I'm gonna pick up.
Oh,
Look right
Mario
now.
Kart's day
30
one.
for $36 you could pick up
Yep.
Kirby and Forgotten Land.
Yep.
So
I'm
it's
glad
worth every
that
penny of that
the
and
Zelda
more.
games are included,
absolutely.
the upgrades included in the Switch Online because I'm gonna start Breath of the Wild. I probably won't play all the way through it, but it does look really good. Like it looks like the CEMU emulation I've been playing. I never thought,
Mhm.
I did not think
I
the
was gonna
Switch
ask you,
2
what
would be
how
pulling
does it
that.
compare?
It looks as good as anything I've
Yeah.
played. Obviously, I don't turn on all the crazy. I don't have like a GPU that can turn on ray tracing and all that with those.
Right.
But it looked. I never expected the Switch 2 to be able to do a 1440p 60 FPS, and they showed the Korok Forest like legit as one of the
Yeah,
first
They
things,
do.
side by
it
side,
does.
the loading times, and then just the panning the camera in the Korok Forest. It looks completely fluid.
Yeah, that when I saw that, I was like, wow.
But Tears looks even better because I think it highlights
Yeah.
the textures and stuff are a little better in Tears. But on the Switch 1, it was maybe a little bit.
All of a sudden, Nintendo fans are talking about graphics and specs.
Mhm.
What happened?
We'll see how
We
good
don't
that
need
screen
no
is.
high-end graphics.
To Juice's credits, he's always been talking graphics and
Yeah,
specs.
Yeah.
Juice
man.
has always been on that.
Dude, I was
This has
talking
been a dream for
graphics. I was talking graphics with people on the Genesis and Super Nintendo day. We were talking graphics.
The only person allowed to talk graphics at this point is, besides Juice, because he's been doing it, is Super Metal Dave. They've been talking about Switch graphics before when that was with the NX, so he's on one. He gets the pass, the free pass.
I mean, I've been
I'm talking about graphics.
image quality's been important to me since like 2000 when HDTV
I gotta check
started
in on
coming
him,
out.
man. He's probably in heaven right now. I gotta check in on him. I told y'all, I was just 6 years old.
This is
when I told
weird.
you.
It's still in video or whatever. They did say that they did mention in their press release that it has RT cores for ray tracing, but PlayStation 5 can barely do ray tracing. I can't.
Yeah.
Right, I ain't.
Well, but also they talk about DLSS.
They have-
They have it, but they also said that none of the games are currently using it.
That's what Digital
Overrated.
Foundry's
They
analyst
call
was.
it overrated tracing. That's what
Doesn't that
shit is.
mean technically you could see some even
What's
bigger?
the fuck?
Yeah.
It's overrated tracing. We don't need that shit.
Uh,
Not in its current state. We don't need
the
it.
resident DLSS expert at Digital Foundry thinks it could be maybe the trade-off to implement DLSS is a big hit on the CPU GPU, so it might kind of be a wash to have it on versus not. But said some games that have it well implemented into their game engines already might be able to take advantage of it down the road. But like maybe just because maybe they were like, man, 1440p 60 for Zelda, like, and if we turn on the DLSS, it's not going to be log 60. I mean, is it worth it to go to like a 4K image? I mean, probably not. So we'll see.
But it's impressive. No, I still think it's so impressive.
Jay Big said Super Metal Day did a 3-hour video about Switch 2 graphics last night. I
I'm
gotta
sure.
get over that.
I believe it, I'm sure.
Next, definitely, we're gonna wrap this up. We got to talk more about dipped into the bullshit stuff, the extra hidden costs and some of the complaining and some of the other. Oh well, the Steam Deck's only $3.99. It's better than the Switch 2 like posts, and it's just we'll get
And
into
I'm like,
that. We
yeah,
got plenty of
those
time.
Games you're not playing. Like people want to play Nintendo games on the Switch too, bro. Which the Steam
You
Deck
can play
does
those
not.
on the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
But-
people keep bringing up emulation. I really think the less powerful console now is gonna somehow emulate Switch 2 content.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, who are you
It's like
kidding?
they ain't, first of all, they ain't gonna let happen what happened last time around with
Yeah.
Nah, they ain't having that shit. They ended up basically shutting those dudes down and taking over all the fucking websites. So that shit is not happening. This
Not
time
only that, but
around.
now I mean, you're talking about way more powerful hardware. Like, how the hell
you're not running
Mario Kart World
you
is
kidding?
these
on
games
Why
on
are
a
you
Steam
saying
Deck.
that? Like, that's not even the point
emulated.
anymore.
Emulation wise, you need
You're not
something.
emulating these bitches on a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
So-
come on. You're gonna have to get. What's the most expensive one that you got? The
No, even the Legion Go ain't doing that shit. Legion Go ain't
okay.
emulating.
You have
Switch
to have
2.
a
It's not happening.
5090. They're gonna figure out a Switch 2 emulator, and then like
Yeah.
to make it look better. Obviously, you got to run it higher resolution and turn on like some different post
And
processing
it's gonna be
things.
pointless because
And at
these
that
things
point-
are already 4K,
And,
1440p.
at that point, just go buy a goddamn Switch 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna spend $2,000 on a
Oops.
graphics card so that you can get Switch 2 games running better than
Yeah.
they do on the Switch 2.
Yeah, and missing the point of the Switch because you can't take
Yeah.
that shit on the go. Like that's the big draw for it. That's a huge draw for it.
So
It's
anyway, let's hope. Hopefully, some things can get
Yeah,
figured
we were
out.
supposed to
Hopefully, we're
pre-order
not
the
paying
console.
$700 after fucking tariffs and stuff. But we'll have
Yep.
to see. I mean, that's gonna really suck. So, but we'll find out.
Hopefully they don't change anything. Really, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully the stupid tariffs go away because they're stupid.
So,
Everything tanking. So we'll.
but anyway, I hate to leave on a bad note, but
yeah,
I'm optimistic for the Switch 2 in general with third-party supports and all that. So we got plenty
Oh,
more,
absolutely.
plenty to talk about in the next
Yeah.
couple weeks, months. Comes out June 5th. So
Mhm.
thanks you guys
you
for
got
tuning
Elon
in.
Musk go self harm watch.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll talk to you guys later.
Just
All
right
right,
now.
we're good, John. That was wild.
He is distraught right now, bro.
I knew we couldn't take T nowhere.